Is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL and Merry Christmas. It's good to see everyone.
Yes, Christmas in the summertime.
Christmas in the summertime. All right, good to see you all. Great to see you. Everyone I know is talking about Liz Cheney this morning. She lost.
Not everyone I know.
They had breakfast conversations.
Like my mom called me this morning.
Right.
I'm like, I know. She lost last night in the Wyoming Republican primary to her challenger, Harriet Hageman. Liz only got 29% of the vote, while Harriet got 66%. But Liz's political career might not be over. Take a look at what she said this morning on the Today Show.
I believe that Donald Trump continues to pose a very grave threat and risk to our republic. And I think that defeating him is going to require a broad and united front of Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And that's what I intend to be part of.
Are you thinking about running for president?
I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
That means she's running.
Right.
Just so you know.
Even acknowledging thinking about it.
If that is she's running. Liz is running. So obviously Liz has been very vocal in her opposition to former President Trump. And now it seems Republican voters in Wyoming had decided that's not what they want. Which brings up an interesting question. Can Republicans who oppose Trump still win with voters? DBL Nation, we got to get a temperature check on this one. What do you think? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. I do want to ask you, Lindsay, also, Hageman isn't just an opponent. She believes the election was rigged still. So she is an election denier, and she won over Liz. Now, again, these are just Republicans versus Republicans, but do you think that that part of the Republican Party can rise like a phoenix and take over the other part?
Well, there have been Republicans in other states that have won their primaries that Trump did not support. But there still exists.
Yes.
So that's an option, and they obviously are more states that have more flexibility of thought when it comes to some politics. But I do think that this is a sign for Liz to go take on big things. Sometimes people outgrow the current position they're in, and if you can't at least start with morals, which is where she's starting and ending with, then she's not the person for you. But I think she has managed to bring over thousands of people who were Democrats to the Republican side of things, and she got I think 11,000 votes to be moved over from Democrat, and Democrats lost 6,000. So some of them might have went independent in Wyoming, some of them went towards Republican, but just to get her elected because people put their morals first.
Right.
So this is a big deal, and I think that you're having these candidates that you have to know Democrats were also supporting, funneling money into trying to get the crazier candidate at the top of the poll so that they can go against the Democrat and that they can probably lose because nobody wants the crazy person in office. Well, a couple people do, obviously, in Wyoming.
Wyoming.
You know, we're hoping that there is obviously people like this are getting out of office, and then you have an option on the table that's not Trump running for the Republican side of the presidential election in 2024. And that's what I think Liz is setting herself up to do, because she said yesterday in what I thought was her first campaign speech when she released that video, listen, the real work starts now. So what does that work mean? Besides January 6th committee that's going to go probably the rest of this year, it means running for president.
Do you think that Trump people, you know how the Republican Party's like cut in half?
What's your take on it first, since it's Christmas?
Yeah, she should definitely be the yin to my yang.
Yes.
Here's my take. I have never thought I would say this in my life, but I really love Liz Cheney. I don't agree with almost everything she says, but she stood up against tyranny, knowing her party would disown her, and she did it anyway. That is an enormous amount of bravery. The founding fathers would appreciate her patriotism. She won't win, I don't think. I hope she makes a budge in getting rid of the Republican sect that does think the election is denied. I hope she becomes, again, the Republican Party I can at least go over the aisle and debate with. We can be the same facts. 2 + 2 is 4 for me and Liz Cheney. It's not for some of the other people in the Republican Party. That's how I feel. Okay, so let's get to the votes. Can Republicans who oppose Trump still win? No. 31% of you, yes. 69% of you.
I'll say the big news, yes.
Yeah, my bad. I did it
Don't bury the lead.
I totally did it wrong and made it anticlimactic. All right. Speaking of elections, the NBA will not be playing any games on Election Day this year, which is November 8th. Everyone mark it down. This is to encourage more people to go vote in the midterms. It's not the first time the league has gotten vocal about elections. If you remember, in 2020, some players wore shirts encouraging people to go vote. So what do you think of this move? Should Election Day be a holiday so people have the opportunity to go to the polls and not miss a day of work? Jeffrey.
Listen, I appreciate what the NBA is doing here, right? They're trying to get people to vote and be more responsible and things like that. It's not the NBA's job to do that. Right? I get what they stand for. It should be a national holiday. And is everyone going to take advantage of that and go vote? Probably not. But it should be an option for us, right? There shouldn't be anything getting in the way of us voting as Americans. So, whoa, snappy finger over there.
I don't know if that's okay.
I think I'm gonna stop it there, because I could only go downhill from here.
That's a brilliant thing to say. I don't understand. Why don't we?
Well, I used to get lectured by my mom if I was like taking too long to go vote when I first was able to. If I was like watching a show, I'll do it afterwards, or doing anything, going out to eat. It was like, no, go vote first. So this is taking everything out of the way, another barrier. You know, the NBA is not just a small little thing. Lots of people will be watching it.
It's an hour and a half game. You're not like, man, I really need to vote, but the Bulls are on. You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
If it's a good game, you might sit down and then it's like
November.
7:30 and you'll be like,
it's not the NBA championship.
Okay, again, you're talking too much sports. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's a Wednesday. Okay? It's a Wednesday.
Do you think in your heart that the commissioner, Adam Silver, I believe is his name, created this, or do you think it came from the players? Because LeBron and other players have been very vocal about wanting this. And do you think it's from the up, or do you think it's from the players up?
I'm not sure of the origin.
Right.
But my thing is, the government needs to handle their business, right? It's not the NHL, it's not the NFL, it's not the MLB, it's none of those. Even though they're huge organizations, they have a lot of eyeballs. It's not their job. It's the government's job to do theirs, and the basketball players and things to entertain and do what they do, right? It's not their job. If they want to step outside that box and do their thing, I applaud them, and I actually like that. Show some leadership, initiative, right? Because no one else is. I'm not looking towards any political party, any political person, Liz Cheney, Donald Trump, this guy, that guy. No one's a leader. I'd rather LeBron James run for president. He's getting my vote.
I think Liz Cheney is a big leader. We just talked about the reasons
I don't even know who she is. A leader of Wyoming? There's like 20 people
there. A leader of the people that don't believe the election was stolen.
Okay.
She's a trailblazer in this moment.
All right, are we out of time yet?
All right.
Let's go. All right.
Coming back up on DBL, she sang backup for Beyonce, Lady Gaga, and Rihanna before breaking out on her own. We sat down with the Jade Nova. But first, a chilling new ad wants people to get real about gun violence in schools. But do you think it went too far? Stay tuned.
Closed captioning provided by
It's so easy.
I think it is one of those stories we're all going to be like, what?
So raised you.
Why am I right all the time?
Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustache.
Am I going crazy?
Jeff is telling y'all he doesn't know who Liz Cheney is. He does.
I gotta get something.
Okay, we have a question for you about this one. Are we ready? This is Destiny. She's been a long time love and hair designer here on the show. She needs a song to walk down the aisle coming up Friday. It's called a processional. I was in bridal.
This is last minute. It was stressing
Yes,
me
now
out.
they changed the song.
What did you walk down the aisle to?
Fields of Gold by Eva Cassidy, and it was
I don't even want to
beautiful.
talk about it.
But I want to tell
I
you.
walked down
get a
to
good
Here, There,
suggestion,
and
though.
Everywhere by the Beatles.
See, okay, now let me ask you something. We need something country. She wants a little country twang, and something with some. Hold on. And something with a voice that's a little bit like Chris. Something that gives us goosebumps.
Yeah, because our first dance is Joy of Your Life by Chris
Stapleton, and it's got that kind of voice. So we also need a song to come back after she says I do that needs to be upbeat for her to walk out of.
Yes.
So those are the two songs we're looking for. We're really looking to
Mine
crowdsource
was God
this.
Only Knows from the Beach
That's
Boys.
the best one. You should do that.
I gotta listen to it.
God only knows what I'd be without you.
It was good. It was a hit.
That's great.
That's a good one. Wait,
What
that's to
about Stevie
leave?
Wonder?
Okay, Stevie Wonder. We're
Stevie
writing these
Wonder,
down.
Yeah, we need some
Ribbon in the Sky.
Ribbon in the Sky. Hold on.
Here we go.
Procession.
The
Explain
procession
guys
was
for all help
walking
with the
down.
wedding.
We're crowdsourcing
So
this for
stressful.
Dest. I think she should do Songbird
Yeah, I don't know
by
what a
Fleetwood
procession
Mac
is.
or Eva Cassidy. Songbird, keep singing that tune.
Oh.
Okay, Florida. Someone wrote Florida Georgia line,
Oh, I love Florida Georgia
but
Line.
you're not in Florida, nor are you in Georgia. That
Yeah,
seems
but
to me.
Florida Georgia Line was actually the first country concert I ever went to.
I do
So
love.
that is nice.
I do love them.
Destiny, I'm sending you all of these on TikTok.
Welcome back. Earlier this week, we did share a story about this Oklahoma mom. Do you guys remember this? She brought her 5-year-old son a bulletproof insert for his Spider-Man backpack. Jeff, I totally agree. Everyone, it went viral, and it was just the saddest video. She also did active shooter training drills with him. But I want you to check out this new back-to-school ad that's running in Texas. Take a look at this one.
Politicians say they make our land safe and free. They're supposed to stand for you and me. Keep our children safe for you and me. Keep our children safe for you and me.
All right, what do we think? Have you considered buying your child or grandchild a bulletproof backpack? Jeff, what do you think about that ad?
I don't know.
A little gimmicky for you?
Yeah, like what is that helping? What kind of change are you invoking by putting your son in that, right? And kind of, I don't know what to say on this because it's a definite problem, but I almost want to ignore the problem so I don't have to address that because it's so horrific that I don't want to address having to give my child, who's in school right now as I'm speaking, a bulletproof backpack. But there is a problem going on, and we need to do something about it. And I'm not taking the steps, so maybe I'm to blame. But to almost propagandize your child in that way, how is that helping? How is that photo with your child dressed like that stopping some crazy person who? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how to digest that.
It feels a little like doing it for just to be sort of gimmicky and to be scary.
Right, because who is that for? Who are you?
For people who want gun control to vote in November so that this perhaps stops. I think that's what's going on.
All right. So, what did you think about it?
Well, I think we're forgetting that, this is running in Texas. People just lost their kids in Uvalde, so it's really, to me, insensitive.
Totally.
The best way to be effective is like maybe remember those truth ads where they talk to people who literally lost their voice or were on their deathbeds because of how much smoking that they did
like
with
from
the
the
trachea.
hole, yeah.
Exactly. That really hit home because it was people who experienced it sharing their story. So maybe the most effective way, since there's been a slew of mass shootings in Texas over the years, is talk to somebody who's directly impacted and maybe think about doing a campaign with them and telling parents why they should get out to vote November 8th and not putting a song behind music and airing it in Texas where people are still trying to mourn the loss of their young kids.
See, I totally disagree with both of you, although I respect both of your opinions. It can come across a little like jarring. I think we need jarring. I think we need Texans to be like, what is that? Because we're talking about it, A, because it satirized it in a way, but C, it's happening. So if we don't put it out there, we're putting our heads in the sand, because that's what kids are really feeling in some respect. I don't have kids, so I don't have that responsibility. I can't imagine having that responsibility. But to me, I want more of this.
But it wasn't jarring to me. To me, it was like a joke.
Yeah,
and
with
it was
the twangy
annoying.
music behind it.
It took it like it's
jarring.
SNL
Like, the
jokey
truth
to you.
ads were jarring, is what I'm saying. It wasn't jarring, and I think that people
didn't
want
work.
elected officials to lead. Is what Jeff is always saying. Like,
right.
Get in there and figure out some solutions, bipartisan, since there's always going to be, for the most part, as we know it, a Democrat and a Republican somewhere in office all over the country. Figure out how to lead and save our kids.
However, we also need a group of people to get to the voting box to deal with gun control at some point.
Well, I hope as the elections come up, and it's just not gimmicky like this. It seems a little gimmicky, a little propaganda to me. Have something everyone could agree on. Right? You don't need to jam Republicans down Democrats' throats and vice versa. And it's, hey, I won or you're a Trump guy. Why don't you have some good policies? And you know what? I'm going to vote for a good policy. And I don't want to hear your opinion if you say I wasted my vote because I voted for an independent. Because my kids get $1 off of lunch at school. That's why I voted for that person, right? I don't need to hear why I should vote for somebody else or why I didn't do my job as a patriot when I went out and voted, but you didn't like who I voted for. I don't need to hear that. Vote for who you want to vote for based on what you believe in. I don't need jamming down other people's throats. That's not bringing us together. That's tearing us apart.
Very well said. Let us know what you think. Coming up on DBL, our interview with singer and comedian Jade Nova. She spills everything she learned working with some of the hottest stars, including Beyonce.
A warning for people who use tampons has gone viral.
Because one of the ingredients on the back of her container is titanium dioxide, which, if you don't know, causes cancer.
This TikTok video and several others on social media have claimed titanium dioxide, a whitening agent, is harmful for people who use tampons.
There's been an uproar lately about tampons.
Bobby Parrish, a social media influencer, said titanium dioxide is really bad for reproductive health and claims it can cause excessive bleeding. But there's no evidence that that's true. Using these sources, I'll explain what the titanium dioxide is used for in tampons and why health experts say it's not harmful to humans. Titanium dioxide is a white substance used to enhance the color and sheen of certain foods and everyday household products, including the thread attached to some brands of tampon, like Tampax. There are very few studies on the effects of titanium dioxide on humans. There are, however, several studies done on rats that showed prolonged exposure to titanium dioxide through inhalation caused some rats to develop cancerous tumors in their lungs. But gynecologist Jen Gunter says people who use tampons that contain titanium dioxide don't have anything to worry about. She says humans aren't exposed to the titanium dioxide in tampons the same way as the rats studied, adding that titanium dioxide doesn't dissolve in water, meaning that the nanoparticles aren't going to dissolve from the tampon string and then get absorbed by the body. While the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified titanium dioxide as possibly carcinogenic to humans, the American Chemistry Council says that determination was based on animal studies. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists told Verify there is no evidence that suggests that any tampons are safer than any other tampons, so we do not recommend any over the others. So we can verify, no, there's no evidence that titanium dioxide in tampons is harmful to humans. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
Can you take a road trip deeper than the ocean? Going coast to coast in only one night. Anything that you find can be yours if you like. From my toes to my lips, take me for a road trip.
Ooh, I tried to walk in all cool and I tripped. Her videos get millions of views as both a singer and comedian. And last night, Jade Nova performed in Denver. But before taking the stage, she joined us in studio and we were the lucky ones. Take a look.
So let's get into it, because before launching your solo career, you were backup singing for a few people we might know of. Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Rihanna. So when it comes to who was the best teacher, who was the best teacher?
Oh, look at you throwing me under the bus. Honestly, sis, they were all incredible teachers in their own right. Like, Rihanna was the only one of the three that I toured with. So I learned about just endurance and just really pacing yourself and maintaining gratitude toward the people on your team, you know, because we're all kind of on that journey together. So from Rihanna, I learned all those things. Beyonce is it was a one-off with Beyonce and Lady Gaga as well. But for Beyonce, I learned the importance of knowing how to do everything. When she came out, she's like, I need these Sharpies right here. I need this thing right here.
You
did. That was a good
impression.
It's so incredible. incredible, like that she did more than just come out and slay vocals. Like she knew everyone's job and how to make it the most effective. And then with Lady Gaga, I learned the importance of just attaching your emotion to your art. Like she was very intentional about making sure that she put on a show that felt good to her, you know, and she wasn't afraid of speaking up as a woman. So all of them.
Wow.
Yes.
Imagine having that as your
You?
pictures.
I know. I can't.
No, I can't. All right, so you're returning as one of the leads in the jam band on Jimmy Fallon's star-studded game show, That's My Jam.
Hey.
A lot of famous people here. Is there anyone you worked with the best? Is there anyone you were most nervous to see or work with?
Oh, honestly, I don't know that it was nerves, but you know, the comedian part of myself is something that I kind of shied away from for a really long time. So shout out to Jimmy Fallon for giving me the opportunity to take up space as a singer and a comedian. But I would say there was a time where Jimmy and Jay Farrow, who are both SNL alums, they put me on the spot to do an impromptu Beyonce impersonation. So that was kind of wild. You know, I'm like NBC, SNL, Jimmy Fallon, you know. So
people wrote in about her Beyonce impression.
No, I know.
Yes. Yeah, so that was exciting.
Obviously, you got famous with Beyonce, Beyonce's twin sister.
Yes.
So, can you tell us what Beyonce would think of Beyonce's new album?
Oh,
Ask Beyonce.
I think that Beyonce's new album is so incredible. I just love it so much, and I think that we need to support the Renaissance Project and Jade's Moon and Pisces project.
That's, oh my
The
God.
inflection and everything.
Okay, y'all can see like why I love, like I'm mildly obsessed with you. I was like, listen, she is going to be the next big thing. We have to get her on while she's willing to come on DBL.
I'll always be willing to come. This energy is so beautiful. I appreciate y'all.
Well, we appreciate you. And as I mentioned, I met you 2 years ago, but we're both creators on Meta's We the Culture program, which of course amplifies Black creators like ourselves. So for people who might not know about it, how is this platform different than others?
I really love this platform. This is actually my second year with We the Culture. And for me, it's given me an opportunity to really expand on the things that I haven't been able to create on my own. You know, I have all these ideas, but I only have so much bandwidth and so much money where I can create what I want to. So this program gave me the opportunity to kind of stretch the ideas that I had and think bigger than what I've kind of been boxed into with my own, you know, limitations. So really just giving me that visibility and that ability to create the things that I've always wanted to at a higher level. So I was able to create my one-woman show, Jade of All Trades, with the impersonations and the music, like you mentioned. So yes, I'm just grateful, and I hope to do it all the time.
What can people expect from your album, from Moon and Pisces, the concert?
The show and the album. I mean, honestly, like you mentioned, I love to combine comedy and music, so I'm going to be doing my impersonations on the show. I'm going to be singing my original music, of course, from the project, and it's going to be storytelling.
DBL Nation, you gotta visit Jade's website to see if she's coming to your city. Hopefully she is, and get your tickets before they're gone. Follow her on social. Jade, thank you so much for coming in here live today. And here's another one of your songs as we go to break. Thanks, Erica. Bye, Erica.
Love you, Cobby.
I just wanna get lost in you. Feel the energy is healing. I find myself getting lost in you. No, I ain't thinking about what's so sad.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by.
When you look at that decline in price from $5.02 down to $3.99, so from the peak down to where it is now, over $1 per gallon in savings, again, our work isn't done.
White House economic advisors are cautiously optimistic about the steady decrease in prices at the pump. In a tweet last week, the White House saying, quote, with over $1 drop in just 58 days, this is the fastest decline in gas prices in over a decade. So let's verify, is the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months the biggest in 10 years? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy and the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or the EIA. Data from the EIA and Gas Buddy shows gas prices have been falling for 9 straight weeks, really since the start of summer. DeHaan says it's important to look at how high prices were back then, $5 a gallon the week of June 11th.
Well, in terms of the rate of decline, I mean, obviously that's a feat that's a little bit easier to accomplish when prices had gone up so much, to now see the market unwinding some of those gains.
He says over the course of the summer, gas prices fell about 2 to 3 cents each day.
That sounds pretty mundane, but that's actually one of the more significant decreases that we've seen because it's an average of 150,000 stations declining several cents a day. We usually don't see much upside beyond that.
The sharpest and most sustained decline in U.S. prices for gas was back in 2008.
Prices in midsummer 2008 were $4.10 a gallon. They ended the year under $2 a gallon. So really, nothing is going to compare really to the recession.
So we can verify, yes, the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months is the biggest in 10 years.
On August 8th, the FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The Washington Post reported agents were searching for classified documents related to nuclear weapons, among other things. In response, Trump issued a now deleted statement that former President Barack Obama kept 33 million pages of documents, much of them classified. So let's verify. Did former President Barack Obama keep 33 million pages of his administration's records? Our sources are the National Archives and Records Administration and the Presidential Records Act. For nearly 2 centuries, presidential records were considered the president's private property. This changed in the wake of the Watergate scandal, and in 1978, the Presidential Records Act was passed, requiring presidents to turn over nearly all of their paper records to the National Archives when they leave office. In most cases, presidents will then work with the National Archives to display some of their records in a presidential library, but the records remain the property of the archives. The National Archives responded to Trump's claims about Obama, saying that they are in possession of all 30 million pages of records that Obama turned over. So, no, former President Barack Obama did not keep 33 million pages of his administration's records. The Obama Foundation is working to digitize items and make them available online, although the foundation says the process was delayed during the pandemic. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
It's Wednesday, I know, but we still got your shopping.
What day is it?
I know.
Wow.
Take 2. It's Wednesday, we know, but we still got your shopping needs covered. Check out these deals where there's something for everyone. Steph, what do you have for us today? I'm looking forward to it.
Hi, DBL Nation. Hey, Tori. I am so excited to show you these deals today. And trust me, they are out of this world. Let's get started. It is the Tac Life Ultrasonic Jewelry Cleaner.
Yes.
It includes in the deal 1 jewelry cleaner. So normally this is $70.
Ooh.
I know, but right now we've got it for $25. And this is a saving up to 64%. Now, Tori, you know that I'm all about fashion and I am in love with these bags.
Cute.
I know, they are the Jella Vu Bermuda or Brady handbag.
Wow.
So the deal includes 1 handbag. So you can choose whether you get the Bermuda, which is available in 3 colors, denim, floral, and olive, or the Brady, which is available in 2 colors, denim or olive. So normally these bags are $118, but we are selling them for $29. It's saving everyone 75%. Now I know this is going to be a fan favorite. We've got the AI Cook 1800 watt 11-speed blender with 32-ounce Triton pitcher.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 1 blender, 1 pitcher, 1 lid with a measuring cup and a 1 food pusher. So normally it's $110, but we've got it for just $49, Tori.
We love that.
So that saves everyone 55%. And for our last product today, we've got the Conair LED Light Therapy Pain Relief System.
Oh, wow.
I know. So this deal includes 1 LED pain relief system, which will provide you effective LED light therapy for reduced muscle pain. So normally this is $138, but we've got it, Tori, for $59.
That's good.
So it's saving everyone up to 57%.
Head on over to morningsave.com, snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even just scan the QR code on screen right now with your phone. It takes you directly to these products on Morning Safe's website. Thank you so much, Steph. All right, Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. We're new.
Have a great orange day.
Have a great Wednesday, everybody. Enjoy.
where hope finds help, where courage meets conviction, where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities, where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
Am I going crazy? I just love your passion right now.
I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, let me get on it. You just got me all riled up.
So
Who raised you?
This is a win, right, guys? Why am I right all the time?
You're
I live my life for Spike. Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustache.
I didn't expect that. I love this segment.
Yes.
You just made my day, my week, my month, my year. DBL is all new every day.
What we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Liz Cheney loses in the primaries, but isn't giving up her fight to defeat Donald Trump. Does she stand a chance in the 2024 election? A shocking back-to-school ad of a child wearing body armor goes viral. Is this too much, or is this just a sign of the times? The remarkable story of a woman who spent days stranded in the desert after a serious fall. She joins us live to tell us how she made it out alive. And a couple of Breaking Bad statues are causing a political uproar. Is this nod to the show really glorifying meth makers?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Well, everyone, all of our viewers are talking about Liz Cheney this morning. She lost last night in the Wyoming Republican primary to her challenger, Harriet Hageman. Liz only got 29% of the vote, while Harriet got 66% of it. But Liz's political career might not be over. Take a look at what she said this morning on the Today Show.
I believe that Donald Trump continues to pose a very grave threat and risk to our republic. And I think that defeating him is going to require a broad and united front of Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And that's what I intend to be part of.
Are you thinking about running for president?
I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
Well, obviously, Liz has been very vocal in her opposition to former President Trump. And now it seems Republican voters in Wyoming have decided that's not what they want, which brings up a very interesting question. Can Republicans who oppose Trump still win with voters? DBL Nation, always want to hear from you. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Tori, I know you have a very strong point of view about this.
Yeah, I just wanted to say for everyone out there, I know Wyoming might not have thought that, but Liz Cheney represents an entire group of people that is on the same fact level as the Democrats right now. So 2 + 2 for Liz Cheney is 4, and that's the same for us. The rest think the election was stolen, and that's in a different reality. She is leading the way with patriotism to go against her own party, which was going to disown her. She knew it was going to be tough to lead the January 6th committee, and unfortunately, she didn't make it into being a congresswoman. She will be running. She will 1,000% in 2024. She will represent the Republican Party, the old conservatives that have the fiscal idea that don't want Trump to take over their party.
Yeah, she will
She's
be,
the anti-Trump.
She will be running for a couple weeks before she loses stunningly before we even get started. She was just humiliated in this election.
Wyoming has very few people. You can't really register on that.
She won by like a crazy amount of points last time. I believe she got 73 or 75%.
Do you think that you have to be backed by Trump if you're a
Republican? There's no discussion anymore, Sam. Yes, absolutely. I don't know. I never thought we'd see this day where we just saw the Republican Party, like the Cheneys, they're gone. They don't exist anymore.
Dynasties, you mean?
Yes, theoretically. So I think this is Trump's party now. We should start talking about it like this. Tori, you're talking about 2 + 2 in our reality. No, their reality is our reality because we live in the same world that they do.
So you're just going to give up?
I was not a Republican to begin with.
No, but I mean about getting on a side where two political parties can have actual debates about real things.
Oh, that's over. Yeah.
Listen, I kind of disagree. And I don't know, and maybe just because it's early on in the voting and people are still sporadically voting, I think when it comes to 2024, people are going to come out in record numbers, right? But I think people, at least me, and I don't have a political party, right? I'm very much independent. I feel like people want to get away from the circus, right? They want to start talking about issues. They don't want to talk about Trump every day. What did Trump do here? What did Trump? Let's talk about what's happening. If my kids are in elementary school, right? If someone is pushing more money for elementary schools in Colorado or for the United States, that's something I want to hear. That's something I'm going to vote for. You shouldn't be shamed for you vote. You shouldn't be tied to President Trump for this, or you shouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to stand up for my nation and vote Joe Biden. Look at the issues at hand. Vote for what you want, and even if you vote independent or you vote for a guy that's not on a ticket, you're not throwing away your vote. You went to the box. You voted for who you thought would best fit yours. You don't need to be part of this team that votes red or blue. Vote what is best for you.
I think the issue with that, and I appreciate what you're saying, and I agree with a lot of it, is that for a lot of people, they are just single issue voters. You want to talk about schools. I have kids in school. Sam has a kid recently in school. Give me a knuckle bump on that. I love you for that. Love. So that's what we care about. But there's some people that care about AR-15s. We can't not talk about Trump because people are showing up at the FBI shooting nail guns at them in full body.
We're never going to not talk about Trump.
Right.
Okay, so if anyone's nervous out there, we will never, don't worry.
Even Laura Ingraham recently said, I think it's time to turn the page.
I think it is. And I think a lot of people, even though
I'm here for that.
We see it in. Okay, we can move on.
No, please, finish.
No, that's no one cares anyway.
Yes, you do.
No, it's
yes,
good.
I do.
Good. I made my point.
Let's see what our viewers actually say. 59% of you say yes. Republicans who oppose Trump still win with voters. Interesting. Okay, so speaking of elections, the NBA will not be playing any games on Election Day this year.
Cavs.
Which is November 8th. It's to encourage more people to go vote in the midterms. It's not the first time the league has gotten vocal about elections. In 2020, some players wore shirts encouraging people to go out and vote. So what do you guys all think of this move? And should Election Day, we've talked about this before, Jeff, should it be a holiday?
For sure. It's not up to the NBA. It's not up to a lot of people look to the NBA, the NFL, sporting, to see what they do, right? And I like the leadership, but it's not their job. Their job is to entertain us with what they love, right? If they want to step outside that box and do whatever and get political, I'm all for it, right? We need leadership. Our leaders aren't leading, so we need to look to these outlets. It's not the NBA's job to say, hey, we're not going to play any games here because you guys should vote. As Americans, we should have that day off. Is everyone going to use it to go vote? Probably not, but we should have that opportunity to not find it difficult to get to a box and vote.
First of all, I fully agree with you. Google how many countries have the day off. It's like crazy that we don't have it. It's absurd that we don't have it. But
There's a reason why.
Why?
Because there's certain people in power that don't want certain people to come out and vote.
Oh, I agree with you completely.
Voter suppression, yes.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. But what I applaud is the NBA saying, fine, we're not going to wait. We'll do it. In 2020, they used the stadiums to be voting polls.
Yeah.
That's how you agree. That's how you have leadership, like LeBron James making a school where good lunches are paid for, because they're not doing it. The politicians ain't going to do it. They're going to do it.
And
so look to the athletes.
I think that we're learning that the only time that you can really communicate to Americans is when they're watching their entertainment, watching their sports. So maybe if somebody, a diehard NBA fan, turns on the TV and is like, where are all the games? Oh, today's the midterms, and then they'll go out and vote. Like sometimes that's what you need because you're not going to see the flyers and the banners. So
a lot of people don't turn out to the midterms, but it's starting to change.
I agree with you.
It is. Coming up on DBL, we are learning more about the fight that led to Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce, the new FBI report that details the incident. But first, a chilling new ad wants people to get real about gun violence in schools. But do you think it went too far?
Closed captioning provided by...
Am I going crazy? Who raised you?
Why am I right all the time?
Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustang.
You just made my day, my week, my month, my year.
The other guy
Hey, guys.
that ran the White House in like his in a detonated car or whatever.
That was
Yes,
that was
and
inappropriate.
And he
Really weird.
Why we were always getting hug? Oh, was that weird? It was weird. I'm so
Just
sorry.
grabbed his hand and put it
I was just gonna give a hug.
across your bosom.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, he got.
With an E, they say bosom.
If you say bosom, it's less offensive. Right?
You sound like your romance novel.
But then it takes the
Your
water.
bosom, your
I turned
heaving
the heat
bosom.
down on the water.
You did. Laura Ingraham just said on a show that she wants to turn the page, and I wondered if Tucker Carlson and all of them are going to follow. She seems to be ready to turn the page because I think she feels.
He's such a ratings getter.
But here's what I don't think Tucker Carlson or even CNN for that fact, go to either side of that, talk for both. It gets them ratings. That's the bottom line for these shows. That gets them
1000%.
ratings. So talking about Trump gets them ratings on both sides,
Gold.
CNN and Fox. But I think middle America, meaning me, I'm only speaking for me, is just they're tired of the circus. Let's get some new blood in there. I don't think 80-year-old should be our president.
Taylor doesn't either.
So it's like let's get some new blood in there. Let's get some new ideas in there.
I
Let's
agree. Age
out
limits.
with the old, in with the
Supreme
new.
Court, they're 100 years old. I went to go see the Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas slept the entire time.
Not that they don't have good ideas or they didn't serve our country well. It's just like let's get some new things going on.
You don't do this with
Even
any
Biden.
other
We're talking
thing
about
that's
even
alive. Any
Biden.
Cars. You don't say, well, that was a good model in '83.
Right,
we're gonna stick
right.
with it. Like no, things evolve, things get better, and I can't wait until I'm out the pasture and can watch the next generation coming up, which I can already see. Like I'll go to comedy clubs.
We're almost there, buddy.
I'll be like, how old are
It's not
these?
old yeller in the yard. You're still here.
I want to be out the pasture. It's great out there.
Al, we need you here.
Welcome back. Earlier this week, we shared a story about this Oklahoma mom who bought her 5-year-old son a bulletproof insert for his Spider-Man backpack. She also did active shooter training drills with him. But I want you to check out this new back-to-school ad that's running in Texas. Take a look.
Politicians say they make our land safe and free. They're supposed to stand for you and me. Keep our children safe for you and me. Keep our children safe for you and me.
Wow. All right. So what do you think of this ad? And have you considered buying your child or grandchild a bulletproof backpack or an insert for your backpack? Do you think this, first I should just say this is a political ad. This is Moms Against Governor Abbott because they do not believe his gun reform or lack of gun reform is strict enough to keep children safe in schools. But did that move you at all?
No, and it kind of irritated me in some sort of way. You know what I mean? The banjo-y thing is very propagandized in my eyes, just because it is such a serious issue, and I still haven't figured out how I'm going to approach it with my children who are currently in school right now as we speak. Am I going to have this talk with them to frighten them of someone coming in? This is a very serious issue, and that the twangy music in the background maybe just didn't do it for me, and maybe the message was fine. I missed the point, and it was just jamming it down the other party's throat, and I don't like that. We need to solve this as Americans, not political parties.
Do you think about sending your children to school in bulletproof backpacks
I wouldn't. I mean, yes, physical injuries are something to worry about, but mental, especially childhood PTSD. I felt like that child in the corner with his backpack over his face that's bulletproof. I mean, that you think that's not doing damage as well? You think that's not going to carry on into his adult years and into anxiety?
This was more impactful to me than the actual ad, just this.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
This, and honestly, like, I was driving the other day and just thinking about Uvalde. Like, I'm not past that. And I don't think a lot of Americans are. I think about it when I see your kids. I think about it when I see kids graduate. I think about those parents. I think about, the interview you had with the young man that lost his life here in Colorado.
Castillo.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know if that's the effective, but it's already in my heart. I don't need to see some kind of, like you said, propaganda as ad. But
I just want to encourage parents. Like yesterday, we had our back to school. Sophie's first day of school is today. So I have a lot of emotions when it comes to seeing that kid in armor. Like that ad really struck me. It did, because that's the reality today. But I did ask yesterday in our big back to school teacher parent conference, no kids were allowed, and I was really nervous to ask about that because they glossed over lockdowns. But I wanted to know, like you, Jeff, specifically, what do we do as kindergarten parents? What do we tell our kids? I know it's all about age appropriateness, and they have psychologists help weigh in on what to say. So I did ask, and I was like shaking because it feels so political. And I said, listen, I hate that I have to ask this, but in our climate, what are you really doing in these lockdowns? They told me, and I'm sure it's very similar in your school because it's all recommended by the districts, but they put the kids in the corner, they give them suckers so they're quiet, and they all huddle together and they be quiet. They don't say bullets, guns, active shooter like we saw in that viral video. Right. They do not say that. Age appropriateness, it'll traumatize the children.
Absolutely.
You just say, we're keeping you safe. Someone's in the building, we got to keep you quiet and keep you safe. At home, you say even less. You just listen and you let them guide the conversation. Now, when they get older, 3rd grade, 4th grade, it's going to be different age appropriateness action, but just follow the teacher's guide. That, according to that TikTok video, that's not what you're supposed to do. I'm not shaming that mother by any means. That kid may be the most prepared kid. God forbid there's a school shooting in his school. But the psychologists say differently. We'll be right back.
A warning for people who use tampons has gone viral.
Because one of the ingredients on the back of her container is titanium dioxide, which, if you don't know, causes cancer.
This TikTok video and several others on social media have claimed titanium dioxide, a whitening agent, is harmful for people who use tampons.
There's been an uproar lately about tampons.
Bobby Parrish, a social media influencer, said titanium dioxide is really bad for reproductive health and claims it can cause excessive bleeding. But there's no evidence that that's true. Using these sources, I'll explain what the titanium dioxide is used for in tampons and why health experts say it's not harmful to humans. Titanium dioxide is a white substance used to enhance the color and sheen of certain foods and everyday household products, including the thread attached to some brands of tampon, like Tampax. There are very few studies on the effects of titanium dioxide on humans. There are, however, several studies done on rats that showed prolonged exposure to titanium dioxide through inhalation caused some rats to develop cancerous tumors in their lungs. But gynecologist Jen Gunter says people who use tampons that contain titanium dioxide don't have anything to worry about. She says humans aren't exposed to the titanium dioxide in tampons the same way as the rats studied, adding that titanium dioxide doesn't dissolve in water, meaning that the nanoparticles aren't going to dissolve from the tampon string and then get absorbed by the body. While the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified titanium dioxide as possibly carcinogenic to humans, the American Chemistry Council says that determination was based on animal studies. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists told Verify there is no evidence that suggests that any tampons are safer than any other tampons, so we do not recommend any over the others. So we can verify, no, there's no evidence that titanium dioxide in tampons is harmful to humans. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till.
So it was a hike that should have been her last. In 2018, Claire Nelson went for a solo hike in California's Joshua Tree National Park. She spent the next 4 days lying on the desert floor, not sure if she would live or die. Before we speak with her, here is a look at her story.
Within minutes of this photo, Claire Nelson loses her footing and plummets 14 feet.
This is not where I expected to end up. The shattered pelvis. I might die here, and I'm really scared that that's the case, and I don't know what to do. I can't get a signal out here.
She is more than a mile off the intended path, leaving her screams for help unanswered.
I call for help, and no one's out here. This is the stupidest thing I've ever done.
The heat becomes Claire's greatest enemy.
This heat is trying to get to me.
Unable to move, she uses her walking stick to apply sunscreen and give herself shade.
my makeshift umbrella. This is basically me for the next 6 hours now that the sun's coming over me. And legs covered.
By day 4, Claire understands her fate and issues a final message for her family.
I don't want to be here. There's still hope. There's still hope. I just feeling a little bit freaked out.
Wow, Claire has now written a book about her remarkable experience called Things I've Learned from Falling. Please welcome to the show, Claire Nelson. Claire, before we get into it, I'm just in awe of your wherewithal to stay present. When you were watching that, what was going through your mind?
To watch it. I feel so detached from it. You know, it's like I'm watching myself, and I just want to help. I just want to help her. I can just remember all of the fear that I was feeling in that moment.
I have to ask you this. I'm so amazed by your amazing perseverance, but you didn't cry, on video at least, until day 3. Did you hold it together because you kind of didn't want to go there? You didn't want to think I'm there and tears mean that? Or what changed you to cause you to have some tears?
I mean, I'm not much of a crier anyway. You know, I tend to keep all my emotions really below the surface. But I think once the shock of the realization that I'm in a situation I might not survive had hit me, I went into survival mode, which for me was definitely you push all the emotions aside and focus on the pragmatic and the practical. Right. What can I do right now to get me out of here? And then by day 3, the hope had gone, and then that's when all the emotions came to the surface.
So you only had a gallon of water with you. When did you run out, and what did you do once it was gone?
I mean, obviously I planned to go for a day, so I had half a day really. I had half a day's worth of water, and it ran out within 24 hours of me falling and having the accident. And I had been collecting my urine in my empty bottle. I hadn't thought I'd be out there that long, but I was just collecting it to try and stay clean and not smell for attracting animals. And so when I ran out of water, it was just like, well, I have this liquid here. Didn't hesitate. I know it can't sustain you for a long period of time, but in the interim, it saved me.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. That was my first thing. I was like, don't go there. So I'm glad you went there, because how else do you survive? It's a survival tactic. Yes.
So
yeah.
It worked.
Today because of it. Yeah.
Desperate
times, absolutely. Well, let's talk about these desperate times, because you experienced extreme heat, pain, thirst, hunger, but was one worse than the others? Like, talk to us.
Even hallucinations she experienced.
Absolutely, yeah.
Whoa, I mean, the funny thing is, I didn't even have any hunger. I mean, the thirst was so prolific that hunger just kind of shut down. So it was the heat and the pain and the thirst. I don't know if any were worse, but it's hard to remember now the pain, and it's hard to remember the heat. But the thirst never leave me. How I felt that dehydration, you feel it in every bit of your body. You feel it in your eyeballs. You feel it in your organs. Like it's to this day, I never want to feel that thirst ever again in my life.
I can't even imagine. You were saved because your friends alerted search and rescue after you failed to post anything on social media for a couple of days. When you heard the helicopter, what was your first thought, and how did you get its attention?
I mean, the first thought was I thought that my mind was playing tricks on me. You know, I was in a very weak state at that point. Thought I was imagining it. And then I heard them make an announcement, and I realized this thing is real. First thing I thought was they might be looking for me, which would be great. I didn't assume that was the case, but that was the point. I just kind of sprung into action, and all I could do was wave my sunshade as fast as I could. But they weren't looking for me where I was, because I, unbeknownst to me, come off a mile off the trail. They were looking over where they thought I was hiking, and so they came and went twice, and I just thought that was it. That was my last thread of rescue gone.
I'm just in awe.
She just waved that. They found it from waving.
You're so courageous. I can't wait to read this book, DBL Nation. Read more about Claire's amazing, unthinkable experience by picking up her book, The Things I Learned from Falling. The book also has hiking survival tips. Claire, we appreciate you. We're so glad that you're here today to tell your story. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Claire.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
When you look at that decline in price,
from $5.02 down to $3.99. So from the peak down to where it is now, over $1 per gallon in savings. Again, our work isn't done.
White House economic advisors are cautiously optimistic about the steady decrease in prices at the pump. In a tweet last week, the White House saying, quote, with over $1 drop in just 58 days, this is the fastest decline in gas prices in over a decade. So let's verify, is the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months the biggest in 10 years? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy and the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or the EIA. Data from the EIA and Gas Buddy shows gas prices have been falling for 9 straight weeks, really since the start of summer. DeHaan says it's important to look at how high prices were back then, $5 a gallon the week of June 11th.
Well, in terms of the rate of decline, I mean, obviously that's a feat that's a little bit easier to accomplish when prices had gone up so much, to now see the market unwinding some of those gains.
He says over the course of the summer, gas prices fell about 2 to 3 cents each day.
That sounds pretty mundane, but that's actually one of the more significant decreases that we've seen, because it's an average of 150,000 stations declining several cents a day. We usually don't see much upside beyond that.
The sharpest and most sustained decline in U.S. prices for gas was back in 2008.
Prices in midsummer 2008 were $4.10 a gallon. They ended the year under $2 a gallon. So really, nothing is going to compare really to the recession.
So we can verify, yes, the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months is the biggest in 10 years.
On August 8th, the FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The Washington Post reported agents were searching for classified documents related to nuclear weapons, among other things. In response, Trump issued a now deleted statement that former President Barack Obama kept 33 million pages of documents, much of them classified. So let's verify. Did former President Barack Obama keep 33 million pages of his administration's records? Our sources are the National Archives and Records Administration and the Presidential Records Act. For nearly 2 centuries, presidential records were considered the president's private property. This changed in the wake of the Watergate scandal, and in 1978, the Presidential Records Act was passed, requiring presidents to turn over nearly all of their paper records to the National Archives when they leave office. In most cases, presidents will then work with the National Archives to display some of their records in a presidential library, but the records remain the property of the archives. The National Archives responded to Trump's claims about Obama, saying that they are in possession of all 30 million pages of records that Obama turned over. So, no, former President Barack Obama did not keep 33 million pages of his administration's records. The Obama Foundation is working to digitize items and make them available online, although the foundation says the process was delayed during the pandemic. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Hey, y'all, this is Jordan Foster. I'm over at ABC 24, Memphis, Tennessee. Listen, we watch DBL just about every day because, listen, they come on after us and they always brighten up the rest of the day. We get it started and they finish the job. If you're not watching DBL, then you got to get hip.
Oh my gosh, I need his energy. Please come on set. Thank you for the love. Memphis, that's from our affiliate station, and he needs to come join us. He called us hip. I know, I feel really good now. Okay, before we go to break, check out this painfully cute viral video. After completing the Ironman race, this man got down on one knee to propose to his girlfriend, but a cramp set him down to the floor. Luckily, some people held him up long enough for him to pop the question. There it is.
Maybe just do it at a different time. Let it go, guy. Let it go.
And you can't act surprised after he's been on the floor face down with.
And what are you going to say? No?
I just think that. I think that's great. I think that's great. But I think after he pulled his Charlie horse, I think that's you got to redo that at dinner.
Look at the emotion. I thought It was beautiful.
wonderful.
If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. An FBI report exposes new details in Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce, the incident that led to the split. And new Breaking Bad statues are stirring up controversy in New Mexico. Is it a double standard to glorify fictional characters over historical leaders?
Many Republicans have criticized the bill, like this state representative who in a popular tweet said, quote, "The Inflation Reduction Act is a tax increase on the middle class." So let's verify. Does the Inflation Reduction Act raise taxes on the middle class? Our sources, the full text of the bill, the Tax Foundation, a bipartisan think tank, and Howard Gleckman, a senior fellow at the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center. The bill raises taxes on corporations in a couple big ways, but it does not raise taxes on individuals. Nowhere in the text does it mention income tax or any other kind of tax assessed on people, just companies. The Tax Foundation analyzed the proposal and found only two ways it could affect an individual's taxes. One is by actually offering some tax credits on stuff like health insurance and electric vehicles. The other is extending a Trump-era law that caps how much in losses certain business owners can write off on their taxes. That law was going to expire in 2027. This bill keeps it alive until 2029. And that's it. No other tax provisions affecting middle-class people or any other individuals. Now, critics of the bill say the larger corporate taxes could eventually be passed on to employees or shareholders who could be middle class in the form of lower wages and stock dividends. But tax expert Howard Gleckman says even if that happens, it's disingenuous to call it a tax hike, saying, quote, "If you're working for your company has to pay more in taxes. It doesn't mean that you're paying more taxes." So we can verify, no, the Inflation Reduction Act does not raise taxes on the middle class.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Okay, so we are learning new details of an FBI report over an incident that led to Brad Pitt and Angelina's divorce. This was back in 2016. So Angelina allegedly filed a suit against the FBI. This is what's recent. This was in April, asking why charges were never filed in the initial report from 2016. She reportedly told officials that while on a private jet, Brad, who had been drinking, grabbed her by the head and shook her by the shoulders as they argued over one of their children. Now, the FBI report also said Brad poured beer on her while she was sleeping. The report stated Brad punched the ceiling of their private jet 4 times and told Angelina that she was, quote, bleeping up this family. Now, back in 2016, it was believed that Brad had an altercation with his oldest son, Maddox, during the flight, who was 15 at the time. Okay, so obviously this got leaked, right?
Yeah, because she did it under Jane Doe.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have to say, they already looked into this in 2016. The or Child Protective Services, CPS, at the plane. It was like done. She keeps bringing this up. If she feels she hasn't been given enough for that, I get it. But it's been years, and the children are grown up, and I don't know why, I feel bad saying this, it continually gets dragged up. They are going their own separate ways. It just let it go at some point if all the investigations have already done it. It seems like it's bringing up trauma.
What if she was physically assaulted, though? I'm not saying she was.
Right.
But if someone's physically assaulted and they don't feel that the police did their job and they never sought justice,
right?
Why couldn't she bring it up to figure out why he was never charged if she felt like she was physically abused?
Totally, but then do it in I guess why do it now?
But then you're going to tell victims who wait 6 years to come forward that they're not allowed to come forward?
But she came forward in 2016.
That's what I don't get.
No, of course. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Sam, I appreciate you playing devil's advocate because this is a weird situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, something bad happened and probably something that is criminal to some extent. Does anybody here think we're going to do a story soon about Brad Pitt being walked into jail in handcuffs? No, we don't think that's going to happen. Really, the only thing that's going to happen is more bad press. And this is about the kids growing up and their development. But also, I think a lot of our viewers, and definitely I can speak to myself and people I grew up around, they spent most of their life, a big chunk of their adult years, not being able to get over an incident. You know, Jeff said something rude at Thanksgiving 7 years ago. It's like, but you're keeping that on you.
Yeah, the anger's
you
in
have
there,
to let it go. And I understand that it's hard sometimes, but for just Angelina's sake, I think she should. I think a lot of people should, whatever happened 5, 6, 7 years ago, let it go, because probably you're the only one thinking about it.
Yeah, I think you guys said amazing things. I just want to point out, because I was confused about it, why the FBI was involved.
That was my first thought.
So apparently, if you're up in the air on a plane, it's federal, right?
Yep.
So the FBI. So that was my first question, the whole thing. But I think you guys said amazing points.
Yeah, but I agree with you. It feels weird to say that, because if he poured beer on her and she doesn't feel justice,
or pulled her hair,
or right,
and maybe she just wanted to see those details. She didn't mean for it to leak. Maybe she needed to see the details in order for her to move on.
Yeah,
we
that's
don't know
true.
everything. Honestly, I don't even want to delve into someone else's business like that. It's too much. Okay, so new statues honoring 2 characters from the TV show Breaking Bad are angering some people in New Mexico. Actors Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul were on hand when the statues of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman were unveiled in Albuquerque. That's where Breaking Bad was filmed and based. But a conservative radio host and state representative are both upset that a show about meth dealers is being honored. They say the statues send the wrong message about who should be glorified in the community, especially since a statue of New Mexico's first Spanish governor, who was a controversial colonist, was removed in 2020. What do you think, Al?
We're going to not glorify people that use illegal means to gain financial wealth and success. I don't know. That would really cut into our movies.
Yeah,
The
Sopranos.
Yeah, the idea that we're going to sit here and say that these meth dealers are bad. What do I think we should have statues of meth dealers? Absolutely not.
Fictional.
Do I think I was going to stop and say, should we have statues of actors that have not done civil rights? No, but in terms of our society and what our society rewards, can we be honest about what we care about now? Like the reason that we went and got who's the good-looking actor to play James Belfort in Wolf of Wall Street?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
The reason we got our best-looking actor to play a guy that went and called old people and ripped them off and took their savings is because that's what we care about. Do you have a yacht or not? So I don't want to hear like you're offended. We're not. You're not offended. Look at our former president. How many times have you been sued? 5,000? And no one cares. So let's not act like we care about these statues. You don't care. You care about the means. The ends justify the means, and if the ends means a gun or a pen, you're going to get your means. So let's be honest about who we are as people.
Yeah, I think it's a political ploy. I was at Reels Channel in 2007.
Stop bragging.
And they moved us to Albuquerque, right? Next to the Breaking Bad set. And we're like, what's Breaking Bad? That sounds like it sucks. Turns out it did very well. Yeah. We didn't. But what I'm saying is Breaking Bad took advantage of Albuquerque's tax for cinema. They have an entire program to bring you there, like Atlanta for Tyler Perry. They literally, as you said in the break, Sam, put Albuquerque on the map. That show in particular has getting millions for people to come to the set, for tourism. They're fictional. We have Rocky, like you said, on the Philly library steps, the art store steps.
The Philly art store.
Just to kind of be devil's advocate here, you lived in Albuquerque?
No, they asked me to come, and I was there for 2 weeks.
And then they asked her to leave.
Yeah, no, I left.
The show
I left myself.
didn't get off the ground.
The show is still there
I'm
in
just
Albuquerque.
Kidding. But my point is it's a big meth problem in Albuquerque.
Yes.
If you did live there for 2 weeks, you've noticed it, right?
Yes.
It's a huge problem. So to promote this and put up a statue glorifying it in that particular town,
let me ask you something.
No,
do you think,
go for
what if it was opioids?
What do you mean?
Like instead of the drug being meth, what if they were selling opioids? Because opioids is a more pervasive problem in this country. Do you think they would have made a statue of them if they were selling opioids?
You mean like a Pfizer statue?
Like if it was Jesse Pinkman and Bryan Cranston, but they were selling, would they still have that exact same statue if
I don't know.
the drug was different?
You're getting really complex. Yeah. I really don't care. But my point is that we had this woke culture, right, swing through like a storm the last 2 years. This is the repercussions of that woke culture. I get what people were trying to do during that. It got too far. The pendulum went all the way. And now some right-wing people are trying to gain some traction by saying, hey, what you did 2 years ago, it's getting a little petty. That's my honest opinion.
I think it's getting, not only is it getting petty, but we're missing the biggest part about it. So first, number one, you cannot compare apples and oranges. A colonizer who's real and then a fictional character who put that town on the map. And the reason why they did it, why they erected these statues, is because they were getting so much tourism, but there wasn't enough places for people. People are literally coming to Albuquerque that are diehard Breaking Bad fans, and they're taking photographs near the set. But that set is pretty much breaking down except for a couple of relics.
It's just a sound
Why did they
stage.
leave it?
Well, that's why they have these statues. So they're trying to, now the town is trying to drive tourism, which means more economy. To Jeff's point, maybe you take some of that money that you're going to be earning from the economy, from all these diehard fans, and you put it towards combating your meth epidemic. Maybe both sides could win here, but yeah, let's not compare a colonizer to a fictional character.
Make believe. It's very strange.
Thank you. Okay, so we got to talk about Joe Jonas because he's trying to erase the stigma of men going under the knife or needle. The singer is starring in a new ad campaign for Zeomin, an injectable that smooths fine lines. Joe told People magazine that he doesn't think men should shy away from cosmetic procedures and should be more honest about it. Joe, who just turned 33, by the way, is married to Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner and is a dad of 2. So we talk about double standards on the show all the time, and it's usually the flip side. Do you feel like that men cannot talk about getting work done?
I don't think that at all. Me and Al's had it done for the show. Every time we open the show, my eyebrows are crazy. Which, by the way, we have a photo shoot tomorrow, and we're going to fix that. So that's going to be gone, so say goodbye to the crazy eyebrows. Yeah, right. But of course you talk about it. Well, I don't know why it's a stigma.
Most men would not.
Why not?
You are different.
Yeah, well, and also we can at least have the excuse, because I don't think if I wasn't on TV that I would have done that. But I do think I have a lot of friends of mine that, like, sometimes I'll watch TV, and I'll be like, that guy should probably use some makeup. Like, my friend for his wedding, you should probably throw some makeup on her. If you're going out, you should probably, it's like, you look better.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like doing comedy in LA, and I would forget to take my makeup off and like go to the bar back when I was drinking. And people be like, you look great. Yeah, and I'd be like, I should do this all the time.
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you clearly look better. So I think men should get on that train. But also, I don't know if Joe Jonas should get all the props for like pushing this conversation.
Right.
You're being paid for this.
A lot.
So,
Agree. But I will say CoverGirl, for instance, has had male cover girls now. I mean, cover people, and they're in makeup.
How dare you?
No, I know. I'm so sorry. But I mean, the makeup industry is forgetting 50% of their clients that might be interested in nail polish, in concealer, and all of these things, in skin regimens. So I think this is normalizing it. The name is terrible.
What is it?
Zeomin? Zeomin?
Zemin.
What?
Zemin.
Guys,
don't say that fast.
You got to workshop that name.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I will say though too, like, listen, I think if you're going to get work done though, I think it's important to disclose it. I appreciate that I get Botox.
I get Botox too.
You guys
Why women don't have to disclose it? Now we're in a whole new
should disclose it so when people look at you, especially young people, there's not this unrealistic expectation like the Kardashians that I'm just naturally like this. No, honey, like, you're not thin from skinny tea or whatever you do.
Oh, you're saying everyone should disclose it, not men.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
In Denmark, you can't post if it's altered in an advertisement without saying this has been filtered. Don't fall asleep. That's so valid.
That's so valid.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you for that,
That was a good Denmark point.
Coming up on DBL, you guys are so rude. So rude. From smelling.
We haven't brought that up in a while.
From smelling paper towels to eating dog food, someone's got to do it. We're talking about odd jobs we didn't know existed. Next.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
Did you hear mine?
I heard yours. As a mask.
Yeah, I heard it's supposed to.
And you know who thinks that? We probably can't talk about it. Someone does do that. We just talked about it.
I mean, we could. I don't know.
No, we shouldn't. Okay, let's talk about what you guys are talking about. Oh, we have a question for you. If you didn't watch the earlier show, this is Destiny, and she's getting married. Her whole family's there. Say hi, family. Will you show them?
Jade's an idea for a processional song for her wedding to walk down the aisle to. And she wants a little country twang, but something with good lyrics. She's a writer, so the lyrics need to be important. We also want to look for a voice that's evocative. So something like Chris Stapleton is their first dance. So something with a good tone to the voice. Am I right? The lyrics need to mean something to you. And we don't want too fast. We want her to just, so we need that, and also for the bridesmaids. So if y'all could crowdsource this, because it's like tomorrow, we need to get on. We have 2 days. If y'all could write me in on YouTube, that would be very helpful. Thank you from Destiny and her pretend planner. I was in bridal.
Oh, that's off a little bit.
I was in bridal for like 2 years. Did you find my wedding dress? Yes, I did. Yes. If you're out there on Poshmark, which is a reuse, so it's good. Let us know what you guys think about Kenny Rogers. Oh, someone else is talking about. He admitted Botox.
Oh, now Kenny Rogers' daughter. Kenny Rogers'
So
daughter.
great story starts.
Oh no, I always get Kenny Rogers and Kenny Loggins mixed up. Never mind.
Wow, highway to the.
Yeah, Kenny Loggins' daughter went to school with my sister, not Kenny Rogers' daughter.
Hey, Troy, tell your Denmark story again. That was a long
walk. Denmark? In the
you
Danish.
Kenny Rogers? Yeah. There's another singer. My sister knows you.
I love this segment. Here we go. There are many different jobs out there, but you actually might not know about some of the unusual jobs people have pursued, and let's talk about them, okay? First up, golf ball diver. Golf balls can be bad for underwater ecosystems, so there are people who retrieve golf balls from water in or around golf courses, $200 a day.
I feel like get a golden retriever to do it.
That's a great idea.
Right.
What, to put on scuba gear?
No, they jump in the water and get the ball out. They're in flippers.
No, there's thousands down there.
In their mouth that it's filthy like that.
Yeah, and it goes way down. I don't think they get all the way down.
Fun job,
right?
For like a day.
Yeah, the first time.
Okay.
It's every time I drive by like a construction site, I'm like, that'd be so fun to dig holes for like a week.
Yeah.
There's a place near Vegas where you can go and just dig holes. Yeah.
I'm in.
I mean, you could do that anywhere. So. Great
No,
news
you
about
get
the
to
earth.
have an excavator. You can't just have an excavator anywhere.
God,
okay,
Al.
there are professional face feelers, also known as sensory scientists.
Also known as creeps.
No. They use their hands to feel product testers' skin before and after they have used products like lotions, razors.
Yeah.
They make good money, around 65 G's a year. Okay.
No.
That's good.
All
You
need is
have to see if
fingers.
it's too slimy, if it's too sticky. You got to make sure. You need the texture to be right so your product is good.
She's right.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
Who decides whether your fingers are accurately describing
people.
what this?
These people.
They have a profession with experience.
Experience.
Okay. People who are particular about what their pets eat can become pet food tasters.
What?
Now here's the deal. They assess the product's packaging, the smell, nutrition, and yes, the texture and taste. They make about 34 grand a year.
34 grand.
You better throw a 2 in front of that. No, that's Tori, could you? Aren't they eating out of dog bowls? Can't they at least put them on people?
Agreed. I have to eat like I will say some dog food is human grade, so I hope it's that. But man, I would need more money.
I know. Can you imagine like the salmon one?
Oh my gosh. The liver?
I know. Okay, so this one is really peculiar to me. This is, you have to have a really good nose. Paper towel manufacturers hire paper towel sniffers to check if the product smells right or not. Yeah. 52 grand a year to be a paper towel sniffer.
Is that like a full time? Are they coming out with new paper towels all the time, or is it like once a year?
That's a meme for Friday night.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, that's really good.
Okay. If you ever think, hey, I can do that while watching physical competition shows like American Ninja Warrior, a stunt tester may be the job for you. They prepare and test out all challenges to make sure they are safe. This person makes $800 a day.
I think this is the most legit one out of all of them. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get in shape, you're like, hey man, we got this thing coming up. If you want to run around, we'll give you $800. Yeah, that sounds good.
And I think there's a lot of people that, you know, I actually knew a guy that would be really good for that, because I know everybody doesn't do it professionally, but there are people that are just like good at wall climbing and things like that, and you can make money. Yeah.
Sorry, one more. Okay, we got.
She didn't care about your story.
No, I'm being told one more, and this is a good one. I get it. Water slide testers. They make sure slides are safe and fun. They ride the slide several times to check things like how long it takes to get down, the splash at the end, and how much adrenaline they felt.
But the problem is, if it goes wrong, you're gonna fall and hurt your tush.
Or just like if there's not enough water at the bottom.
Right.
Like, I don't like water slides anyway. They hurt. They're not fun.
I got
They're traumatizing. It's like being in the washing machine.
Did you need a paragraph to describe a water slide?
I know, yeah.
Water slide tester, period.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
Okay, we'll be right back.
I like water parks.
A warning for people who use tampons has gone viral.
Because one of the ingredients on the back of her container is titanium dioxide, which, if you don't know, causes cancer.
This TikTok video and several others on social media have claimed titanium dioxide, a whitening agent, is harmful for people who use tampons.
There's been an uproar lately about tampons.
Bobby Parrish, a social media influencer, said titanium dioxide is really bad for reproductive health and claims it can cause excessive bleeding. But there's no evidence that that's true. Using these sources, I'll explain what the titanium dioxide is used for in tampons and why health experts say it's not harmful to humans. Titanium dioxide is a white substance used to enhance the color and sheen of certain foods and everyday household products, including the thread attached to some brands of tampon, like Tampax. There are very few studies on the effects of titanium dioxide on humans. There are, however, several studies done on rats that showed prolonged exposure to titanium dioxide through inhalation caused some rats to develop cancerous tumors in their lungs. But gynecologist Jen Gunter says people who use tampons that contain titanium dioxide don't have anything to worry about. She says humans aren't exposed to the titanium dioxide in tampons the same way as the rats studied, adding that titanium dioxide doesn't dissolve in water, meaning that the nanoparticles aren't going to dissolve from the tampon string and then get absorbed by the body. While the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified titanium dioxide as possibly carcinogenic to humans, the American Chemistry Council says that determination was based on animal studies. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists told Verify there is no evidence that suggests that any tampons are safer than any other tampons, so we do not recommend any over the others. So we can verify, no, there's no evidence that titanium dioxide in tampons is harmful to humans. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
It's Wednesday, but we've still got your shopping needs covered. Check out these deals where there's something for everyone.
Steph, what do you have for us today? I'm looking forward to it.
Hi, DBL Nation. Hey, Tori. I am so excited to show you these deals today. And trust me, they are out of this world. Let's get started. It is the Tac Life Ultrasonic Jewelry Cleaner.
Yes, girl.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. It includes in the deal one jewelry cleaner. And with this, you can bring the shine back to your jewelry by deep cleaning those inside hard to reach places like little holes, narrow crevices, and settings. And get this, it doesn't have to just be for jewelry. You can clean your glasses,
I didn't know
collectible coins, and so much more. It's so easy to use. So normally this is $70. Ooh. I know, but right now we've got it for $25, and this is a saving up to 64%.
You're not just cleaning your jewelry, you're cleaning up the savings.
Now, Tori, you know that I'm all about fashion, and I am in love with these bags.
Cute.
I know, they are the Jella Vu Bermuda or Brady handbag.
Wow.
So the deal includes one handbag. So you can choose whether you get the Bermuda, which is available in 3 colors, denim, floral, and olive, or the Brady, which is available in 2 colors, denim or olive. So with this, you are taking summer fashion into your own hands. The Bermuda style is vintage inspired, and it can be worn with or without the crossbody strap and handles. Or if you guys go for the Brady style, this bag gives the style an elegant twist, literally with this chunky braided strap.
Cute.
So Morning Save have bought the remaining inventory of these, so you will not be finding them anywhere else, so make sure you get your hands on one while you can because they're going to sell out really quickly.
I can tell.
So normally these bags are $118, but we are selling them for $29. It's saving everyone 75%, and I've got to say, this is a really great color going from autumn into winter and fall. Like, this is perfect. Now, I know this is going to be a fan favorite. We've got the AI Cook 1800 watt 11-speed blender with 32-ounce Triton pitcher.
Whoa.
So this deal includes one blender, one pitcher, one lid with a measuring cup and a one food pusher.
Oh, wow.
So you guys can cool down this summer with an icy treat, whether it's a smoothie or a margarita. Hey, I'm not here to judge. And this is tough enough to grind nuts, coffee, smoothies, dips, and sauces. Now, it's got 11 different speeds and a pulse option. So this has basically all 5-star reviews.
Wow.
It's a great product, you guys.
Wow.
So normally it's $110, but we've got it for just $49, Tori.
We love that.
So that saves everyone 55%.
That's unbelievable. That is fantastic. And I'm making smoothies out the gazoo, putting spinach in, and I need a food
good
pusher.
for you.
Yeah, I'm truly trying. So this would be perfect.
Absolutely. And for our last product today, we've got the Conair LED Light Therapy Pain Relief System.
Oh, wow.
I know. So this deal includes one LED pain relief system, which will provide you effective LED light therapy for reduced muscle pain. So this is the first time that Morning Save have ever featured this on television. It's so easy to use and you can take it with you anywhere. So normally this is $138, but we've got it, Tori, for $59.
That's good.
So it's saving everyone up to 57%.
That's good. If you have any athlete or if you have someone who's working out in your life, this is a great gift. Head on over to morningsave.com, snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even just scan the QR code on screen right now with your phone. It takes you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by.
When you look at that decline in price from $5.02 down to $3.99, so from the peak down to where it is now, over $1 per gallon in savings. Again, our work isn't done.
White House economic advisors are cautiously optimistic about the steady decrease in prices at the pump. In a tweet last week, the White House saying, quote, with over $1 drop in just 58 days, this is the fastest decline in gas prices in over a decade. So let's verify, is the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months the biggest in 10 years? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy and the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or the EIA. Data from the EIA and Gas Buddy shows gas prices have been falling for 9 straight weeks, really since the start of summer. DeHaan says it's important to look at how high prices were back then, $5 a gallon the week of June 11th.
Well, in terms of the rate of decline, I mean, obviously that's a feat that's a little bit easier to accomplish when prices had gone up so much, to now see the market unwinding some of those gains.
He says over the course of the summer, gas prices fell about 2 to 3 cents each day.
That sounds pretty mundane, but that's actually one of the more significant decreases that we've seen, because it's an average of 150,000 stations declining several cents a day. We usually don't see much upside beyond that.
The sharpest and most sustained decline in U.S. prices for gas was back in 2008. Prices
in midsummer 2008 were $4.10 a gallon. They ended the year under $2 a gallon. So really, nothing is going to compare really to the recession.
So we can verify, yes, the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months is the biggest in 10 years.
On August 8th, the FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The Washington Post reported agents were searching for classified documents related to nuclear weapons, among other things. In response, Trump issued a now deleted statement that former President Barack Obama kept 33 million pages of documents, much of them classified. So let's verify. Did former President Barack Obama keep 33 million pages of his administration's records? Our sources are the National Archives and Records Administration and the Presidential Records Act. For nearly 2 centuries, presidential records were considered the president's private property. This changed in the wake of the Watergate scandal, and in 1978, the Presidential Records Act was passed, requiring presidents to turn over nearly all of their paper records to the National Archives when they leave office. In most cases, presidents will then work with the National Archives to display some of their records in a presidential library, but the records remain the property of the archives. The National Archives responded to Trump's claims about Obama, saying that they are in possession of all 30 million pages of records that Obama turned over. So, no, former President Barack Obama did not keep 33 million pages of his administration's records. The Obama Foundation is working to digitize items and make them available online, although the foundation says the process was delayed during the pandemic. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back.
All right, we do have a correction, and this is from Karen. It's real serious. It was not Denmark that has the law that requires social media.
Of course.
It is Norway. Norway.
But Tori owned Denmark.
I did own
What's
Denmark.
happening over here?
I need a lot of things because I'm very important.
She is. DBL is new every day.
Important people bring sunglasses outside.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how, that's local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
Am I going crazy? I just love your passion right now. I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, let me get on it. You just got me all riled up. Who raised you?
This is a win, right, guys? Why am I right all the time?
You're not.
I live my life for Spike. Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustache.
I didn't expect that. I love this segment.
Yes.
You just made my day, my week, my month, my year. DBL is all new every day.
What we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Liz Cheney loses in the primaries, but isn't giving up her fight to defeat Donald Trump. Does she stand a chance in the 2024 election? A shocking back-to-school ad of a child wearing body armor goes viral. Is this too much, or is this just a sign of the times? The remarkable story of a woman who spent days stranded in the desert after a serious fall. She joins us live to tell us how she made it out alive. And a couple of Breaking Bad statues are causing a political uproar. Is this nod to the show really glorifying meth makers?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Well, everyone, all of our viewers are talking about Liz Cheney this morning. She lost last night in the Wyoming Republican primary to her challenger, Harriet Hageman. Liz only got 29% of the vote, while Harriet got 66% of it. But Liz's political career might not be over. Take a look at what she said this morning on the Today Show.
I believe that Donald Trump continues to pose a very grave threat and risk to our republic, And I think that defeating him is going to require a broad and united front of Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And that's what I intend to be part of.
Are you thinking about running for president?
I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
Well, obviously, Liz has been very vocal in her opposition to former President Trump, and now it seems Republican voters in Wyoming have decided that's not what they want, which brings up a very interesting question. Can Republicans who oppose Trump still win with voters? DBL Nation, always want to hear from you. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Tori, I know you have a very strong point of view about this.
Yeah, I just wanted to say for everyone out there, I know Wyoming might not have thought that, but Liz Cheney represents an entire group of people that is on the same fact level as the Democrats right now. So 2 + 2 for Liz Cheney is 4, and that's the same for us. The rest think the election was stolen, and that's in a different reality. She is leading the way with patriotism to go against her own party, which was going to disown her. She knew it was going to be tough to lead the January 6th committee, and unfortunately, she didn't make it into being a congresswoman. She will be running. She will 1,000% in 2024. She will represent the Republican Party, the old conservatives that have the fiscal idea that don't want Trump to take over their party.
Yeah, she will be running for a couple weeks before she loses stunningly before we even get started. She was just humiliated in this election.
Wyoming has very few people. You can't really register on that.
She won by like a crazy amount of points last time. I believe she got 73 or 75%.
Do you think that you have to be backed by Trump if you're a Republican?
There's no discussion anymore, Sam. Yes, absolutely. I don't know. I never thought we'd see this day where we just saw the Republican Party, like the Cheneys, they're gone. They don't exist anymore.
Dynasties, you mean?
Yes, theoretically. So I think this is Trump's party now. We should start talking about it like this. Tori, you're talking about 2 + 2 in our reality. No, their reality is our reality because we live in the same world that they do.
So you're just going to give up?
I was not a Republican to begin with.
No, but I mean about getting on a side where 2 political parties can have actual debates about real things.
Oh, that's over. Yeah.
Listen, I kind of disagree. And I don't know, and maybe just because it's early on in the voting and people are still sporadically voting, I think when it comes to 2024, people are going to come out in record numbers, right? But I think people, at least me, and I don't have a political party, right? I'm very much independent. I feel like people want to get away from the circus, right? They want to start talking about issues. They don't want to talk about Trump every day. What did Trump do here? What did Trump? Let's talk about what's happening. If my kids are in elementary school, right? If someone is pushing more money for elementary schools in Colorado or for the United States, that's something I want to hear. That's something I'm going to vote for. You shouldn't be shamed for you vote. You shouldn't be tied to President Trump for this, or you shouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to stand up for my nation and vote Joe Biden. Look at the issues at hand. Vote for what you want, and even if you vote independent or you vote for a guy that's not on the ticket, you're not throwing away your vote. You went to the box. You voted for who you thought would best fit yours. You don't need to be part of this team that votes red or blue. Vote what is best for you.
I think the issue with that, and I appreciate what you're saying, and I agree with a lot of it, is that for a lot of people, they are just single issue voters. You want to talk about schools. I have kids in school. Sam has a kid recently in school. Give me a knuckle bump on that. I love you for that. Love. So that's what we care about. But there's some people that care about AR-15s. We can't not talk about Trump because people are showing up at the FBI shooting nail guns at them in full body.
We're never going to not talk about Trump.
Right.
Okay. So if anyone's nervous out there, we will never. Yeah. Don't worry.
But even Laura Ingraham recently said, "I think it's time to turn the page."
I think it is, and I think a lot of people, even though
we're for that,
we see it in. Okay, we can move on.
No, please finish.
No, that's no one cares anyway.
Yes, I do.
No, it's
yes,
good.
I
It's
do.
good. I made my point.
Let's see what our viewers actually say. 59% of you say yes. Republicans who oppose Trump still win with voters. Interesting. Okay, so speaking of elections, the NBA will not be playing any games on Election Day this year.
Cavs.
Which is November 8th. It's to encourage more people to go vote in the midterms. It's not the first time the league has gotten vocal about elections. In 2020, some players wore shirts encouraging people to go out and vote. So what do you guys all think of this move? And should Election Day, we've talked about this before, Jeff, should it be a holiday?
For sure. It's not up to the NBA. It's not up to a lot of people look to the NBA, the NFL, sporting, to see what they do, right? And I like the leadership, but it's not their job. Their job is to entertain us with what they love, right? If they want to step outside inside that box and do whatever and get political, I'm all for it, right? We need leadership. Our leaders aren't leading, so we need to look to these outlets. It's not the NBA's job to say, hey, we're not going to play any games here because you guys should vote. As Americans, we should have that day off. Is everyone going to use it to go vote? Probably not, but we should have that opportunity to not find it difficult to get to a box and vote.
First of all, I fully agree with you. Google how many countries have the day off. It's like crazy that we don't have it. It's absurd that we don't have it. But I applaud.
There's a reason why.
Why?
Because there's certain people in power that don't want certain people to come out and vote.
Oh, I agree with you completely.
Voter suppression, yes.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. But what I applaud is the NBA saying, fine, we're not going to wait. We'll do it. In 2020, they used the stadiums to be voting polls.
Yeah.
That's how you agree. That's how you have leadership, like LeBron James making a school where good lunches are paid for, because they're not doing it. The politicians ain't going to do it. They're going to do it. So look to the athletes.
I think that we're learning that the only time that you can really communicate to Americans is when they're watching their entertainment, watching their sports. So maybe if somebody, a diehard NBA fan, turns on the TV and is like, where are all the games? Oh, today's the midterms, and then they'll go out and vote. Like, sometimes that's what you need, because you're not going to see the flyers and the banners. So
a lot of people don't turn out to the midterms, but it's starting to change.
I agree with you.
It is. Coming up on DBL, we are learning more about the fight that led to Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce, the new FBI report that details the incident. But first, a chilling new ad wants people to get real about gun violence in schools. But do you think it went too far?
Closed captioning provided by...
Am I going crazy?
So raised you.
Why am I right all the time?
Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustang.
You just made my day, my week, my month, my year.
The other guy that ran the White House in like his in a detonated car or whatever.
That was
inappropriate.
Really weird. Why, we were always getting hug? Oh, was that weird?
Yeah.
It was weird. I'm so
He just
sorry.
grabbed his hand and put it
I was just going to give a hug.
across your bosom.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that. He got with their name. They say bosom.
If you say bosom, it's less offensive. Right?
You sound like your romance novel.
But then it takes the
your
water.
bosom. Your
I turned
heaving
the
bosom.
heat down on the water.
You did. Laura Ingraham just said on her show that she wants to turn the page, and I wondered if Tucker Carlson and all of them are going to follow. She seems to be ready to turn the page because I think she feels.
He's such a ratings giver.
But here's what I don't think Tucker Carlson, or even CNN for that fact, go to either side of that. Talk for both. It gets them ratings. That's the bottom line for these shows. That gets them ratings. So talking about Trump gets them ratings on both sides, CNN and Fox. But I think middle America, meaning me, I'm only speaking for me, is just, they're tired of the circus. Let's get some new blood in there. I don't think 80-year-olds should be our president.
Taylor doesn't either.
So it's like, let's get some new blood in there. Let's get some new ideas in there.
I agree.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Supreme Court, they're 100 years old. I went to go see the Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas slept the entire time.
Not that they don't have good ideas or they didn't serve our country well. It's just like, let's get some new things going on.
You don't do this with
even
any
Biden.
other
We're talking about
thing
even
that's
Biden.
Any cars, you don't say, well, that was a good model in '83.
Right.
With it. Like, no, things evolve, things get better, and I can't wait until I'm out to pasture and can watch the next generation coming up, which I can already see. Like, I'll go to comedy clubs. I'll be like, how old are they?
It's not old Yeller in the yard. You're still here.
I want to be out to pasture. It's great out there.
Al, we need you here.
Welcome back. Earlier this week, we shared a story about this Oklahoma mom who bought her 5-year-old son a bulletproof insert for his Spider-Man backpack. She also did active shooter training drills with him. But I want you to check out this new back-to-school ad that's running in Texas. Take a look.
Politicians say they make our land safe and free. They're supposed to stand for you and me. Keep our children safe for you and me. Keep our children safe for you and me.
Wow. All right. So what do you think of this ad? And have you considered buying your child or grandchild a bulletproof backpack or an insert for your backpack? Do you think this, first I should just say this is a political ad. This is Moms Against Governor Abbott because they do not believe his gun reform or lack of gun reform is strict enough to keep children safe in schools. But did that move you at all?
No, and it kind of irritated me in some sort of way. You know what I mean? The banjo-y thing is very propagandized in my eyes, just because it is such a serious issue, and I still haven't figured out how I'm going to approach it with my children who are currently in school right now as we speak. Am I going to have this talk with them to frighten them of someone coming in? This is a very serious issue, and that the twangy music in the background maybe just didn't do it for me, and maybe the message was fine. I missed the point, and it was just jamming it down the other party's throat. And I don't like that. We need to solve this as Americans, not political parties.
Do you think about sending your children to school in bulletproof backpacks
I wouldn't. I mean, yes, physical injuries are something to worry about, but mental, especially childhood PTSD. I felt like that child in the corner with his backpack over his face that's bulletproof. I mean, that you think that's not doing damage as well? You think that's not going to carry on into his adult years and into anxiety?
This was more impactful to me than the actual ad, just this.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. This, and honestly, like, I was driving the other day and just thinking about Uvalde. Like, I'm not past that. And I don't think a lot of Americans are. I think about it when I see your kids. I think about it when I see kids graduate. I think about those parents. I think about, you know, the interview you had with the young man that lost his life here in Colorado.
Castillo.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know if that's the effective, but it's already in my heart. I don't need to see some kind of, like you said, propagandized ad. But I
just want to encourage parents. Like yesterday, we had our back to school. Sophie's first day of school is today. So I have a lot of emotions when it comes to seeing that kid in armor. Like, that ad really struck me. It did, because that's the reality today. But I did ask yesterday in our big back to school teacher parent conference, no kids were allowed, and I was really nervous to ask about that because they glossed over lockdowns. But I wanted to know, like you, Jeff, specifically, what do we do as kindergarten parents? What do we tell our kids? I know it's all about age appropriateness, and they have psychologists help weigh in on what to say. So I did ask, and I was like shaking because it feels so political. And I said, listen, I hate that I have to ask this, but in our climate, what are you really doing in these lockdowns? They told me, and I'm sure it's very similar in your school because it's all recommended by the districts, but they put the kids in the corner, they give them suckers so they're quiet, and they all huddle together and they be quiet. They don't say bullets, guns, active shooter like we saw in that viral video. Right. They do not say that. Age appropriateness, it'll traumatize the children.
Absolutely.
You just say, we're keeping you safe. Someone's in the building, we got to keep you quiet and keep you safe. At home, you say even less. You just listen and you let them guide the conversation. Now, when they get older, 3rd grade, 4th grade, it's going to be different age appropriateness action, but just follow the teacher's guide. That, according to that TikTok video, that's not what you're supposed to do. I'm not shaming that mother by any means. That kid may be the most prepared kid. God forbid there's a school shooting in his school. But the psychologists say differently. We'll be right back.
A warning for people who use tampons has gone viral.
Because one of the ingredients on the back of her container is titanium dioxide, which, if you don't know, causes cancer.
This TikTok video and several others on social media have claimed titanium dioxide, a whitening agent, is harmful for people who use tampons.
There's been an uproar lately about tampons.
Bobby Parrish, a social media influencer, said titanium dioxide is really bad for reproductive health and claims it can cause excessive bleeding. But there's no evidence that that's true. Using these sources, I'll explain what the titanium dioxide is used for in tampons and why health experts say it's not harmful to humans. Titanium dioxide is a white substance used to enhance the color and sheen of certain foods and everyday household products, including the thread attached to some brands of tampon, like Tampax. There are very few studies on the effects of titanium dioxide on humans. There are, however, several studies done on rats that showed prolonged exposure to titanium dioxide through inhalation caused some rats to develop cancerous tumors in their lungs. But gynecologist Jen Gunter says people who use tampons that contain titanium dioxide don't have anything to worry about. She says humans aren't exposed to the titanium dioxide in tampons the same way as the rats studied, adding that titanium dioxide doesn't dissolve in water, meaning that the nanoparticles aren't going to dissolve from the tampon string and then get absorbed by the body. While the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified titanium dioxide as possibly carcinogenic to humans, the American Chemistry Council says that determination was based on animal studies. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists told Verify there is no evidence that suggests that any tampons are safer than any other tampons, so we do not recommend any over the others. So we can verify, no, there's no evidence that titanium dioxide in tampons is harmful to humans. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
So it was a hike that should have been her last. In 2018, Claire Nelson went for a solo hike in California's Joshua Tree National Park. She spent the next 4 days lying on the desert floor, not sure if she would live or die. Before we speak with her, here is a look at her story.
Within minutes of this photo, Claire Nelson loses her footing and plummets 14 feet.
This is not where I expected to end up. The shattered pelvis. I might die here, and I'm really scared that that's the case, and I don't know what to do. I can't get a signal out here.
She is more than a mile off the intended path, leaving her screams for help unanswered.
I call for help, and no one's out here. This is the stupidest thing I've ever done.
The heat becomes Claire's greatest enemy.
This heat is trying to get to me.
Unable to move, she uses her walking stick to apply sunscreen and give herself shade.
My makeshift umbrella. This is basically me for the next 6 hours, now that the sun's coming over me. And legs covered.
By day 4, Claire understands her fate and issues a final message for her family.
I don't want to be here. There's still hope, if I just feeling a little bit freaked out.
Wow, Claire has now written a book about her remarkable experience called Things I've Learned from Falling. Please welcome to the show, Claire Nelson. Claire, before we get into it, I'm just in awe of your wherewithal to stay present. When you were watching that, what was going through your mind?
I had to watch it. I feel so detached from it. You know, it's like I'm watching myself, and I just want to help. I just want to help her. I can just remember all of the fear that I was feeling in that moment.
I have to ask you this. I'm so amazed by your amazing perseverance, but you didn't cry, on video at least, until day 3. Did you hold it together because you kind of didn't want to go there? You didn't want to think I'm there and tears mean that? Or what changed you to cause you to have some tears?
I mean, I'm not much of a crier anyway. You know, I tend to keep all my emotions really below the surface. But I think once the shock of the realization that I'm in a situation I might not survive had hit me, I went into survival mode, which for me was definitely you push all the emotions aside and focus on the pragmatic and the practical. Right. What can I do right now to get me out of here? And then by day 3, the hope had gone, and then that's when all the emotions came to the surface.
So you only had a gallon of water with you. When did you run out, and what did you do once it was gone?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I planned to go for a day, so I had half a day really. I had half a day's worth of water, and it ran out within 24 hours of me falling and having the accident. And I had been collecting my urine in my empty bottle. I hadn't thought I'd be out there that long, but I was just collecting it to try and stay clean and not smell for attracting animals. And so when I ran out of water, it was just like, well, I have this liquid here. I didn't hesitate. I know it can't sustain you for a long period of time, but in the interim, it saved me.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. That was my first thing. I was like, don't go there. So I'm glad you went there, because how else do you survive? It's a survival tactic. Yes.
So
yeah, it works.
Because
of it.
Yeah.
Desperate times. Absolutely. Well, let's talk about these desperate times, because you experienced extreme heat, pain, thirst, hunger, but was one worse than the others? Like, talk to us.
Even hallucinations she experienced.
Absolutely, yeah.
Whoa, I mean, the funny thing is I didn't even have any hunger. I mean, the thirst was so prolific that hunger just kind of shut down. So it was the heat and the pain and the thirst. I don't know if any were worse, but it's hard to remember now the pain, and it's hard to remember the heat. But the thirst never leave me. How I felt that dehydration, you feel it in every bit of your body. You feel it in your eyeballs. You feel it in your organs. Like it's to this day, I never want to feel that thirst ever again in my life.
I can't even imagine. You were saved because your friends alerted search and rescue after you failed to post anything on social media for a couple of days. When you heard the helicopter, what was your first thought, and how did you get its attention?
I mean, the first thought was I thought that my mind was playing tricks on me. I was in a very weak state at that point. Thought I was imagining it. And then I heard them make an announcement, and I realized this thing is real. First thing I thought was they might be looking for me, which would be great. I didn't assume that was the case, but that was the point. I just kind of sprung into action, and all I could do was wave my sunshade as fast as I could. But they weren't looking for me where I was, because I, unbeknownst to me, come off a mile off the trail. They were looking over where they thought I was hiking, and so they came and went twice, and I just thought that was it. That was my last thread of rescue gone.
I'm just in awe.
She just waved that. They found it from waving.
You're so courageous. I can't wait to read this book, DBL Nation. Read more about Claire's amazing, unthinkable experience by picking up her book, The Things I Learned from Falling. The book also has hiking survival tips. Claire, we appreciate you. We're so glad that you're here today to tell your story. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Claire.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
When you look at that decline in price from $5.02 down to $3.99, so from the peak down to where it is now, over $1 per gallon in savings, again, our work isn't done.
White House economic advisors are cautiously optimistic about the steady decrease in prices at the pump. In a tweet last week, the White House saying, quote, with over $1 drop in just 58 days, this is the fastest decline in gas prices in over a decade. So let's verify, is the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months the biggest in 10 years? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy and the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or the EIA. Data from the EIA and Gas Buddy shows gas prices have been falling for 9 straight weeks, really since the start of summer. DeHaan says it's important to look at how high prices were back then, $5 a gallon the week of June 11th.
Well, in terms of the rate of decline, I mean, obviously that's a feat that's a little bit easier to accomplish when prices had gone up so much, to now see the market unwinding some of those gains.
He says over the course of the summer, gas prices fell about 2 to 3 cents each day.
That sounds pretty mundane, but that's actually one of the more significant decreases that we've seen, because it's an average of 150,000 stations declining several cents a day. We usually don't see much upside beyond that.
The sharpest and most sustained decline in U.S. prices for gas was back in 2008. Prices
in midsummer 2008 were $4.10 a gallon. They ended the year under $2 a gallon. So really, nothing is going to compare really to the recession.
So we can verify, yes, the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months is the biggest in 10 years.
On August 8th, the FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The Washington Post reported agents were searching for classified documents related to nuclear weapons, among other things. In response, Trump issued a now deleted statement that former President Barack Obama kept 33 million pages of documents, much of them classified. So, let's verify. Did former President Barack Obama keep 33 million pages of his administration's records? Our sources are the National Archives and Records Administration and the Presidential Records Act. For nearly 2 centuries, presidential records were considered the president's private property. This changed in the wake of the Watergate scandal, and in 1978, the Presidential Records Act was passed, requiring presidents to turn over nearly all of their paper records to the National Archives when they leave office. In most cases, presidents will then work with the National Archives to display some of their records in a presidential library, but the records remain the property of the archives. The National Archives responded to Trump's claims about Obama, saying that they are in possession of all 30 million pages of records that Obama turned over. So, no, former President Barack Obama did not keep 33 million pages of his administration's records. The Obama Foundation is working to digitize items and make them available online, although the foundation says the process was delayed during the pandemic. With Your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Hey y'all, this is Jordan Foster. I'm over at ABC 24, Memphis, Tennessee. Listen, we watch DBL just about every day because, listen, they come on after us and they always brighten up the rest of the day. We get it started and they finish the job. If you're not watching DBL, then you got to get hip.
Oh my gosh, I need his energy.
Yes.
Please come on set. Thank you for the love. Memphis, that's from our affiliate station, and he needs to come join us. Call us hip. I know, I feel really good now. Okay, before we go to break, check out this painfully cute viral video. After completing the Ironman race, this man got down on one knee to propose to his girlfriend, but a cramp set him down to the floor. Luckily, some people held him up long enough for him to pop the question. There it is.
Maybe just do it at a different time. You know, let it go, guy. Let it go.
And you can't act surprised after he's been on the floor face down with.
And what are you going to say? No?
I just think that. I think that's great. I think that's great. But I think after he pulled his Charlie horse, I think that's you got to redo that at dinner.
Look at the emotion. I thought it was beautiful. Wonderful. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. An FBI report exposes new details in Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce, the incident that led to the split. And new Breaking Bad statues are stirring up controversy in New Mexico. Is it a double standard to glorify fictional characters over historical leaders?
Many Republicans have criticized the bill, like this state representative who in a popular tweet said, quote, "The Inflation Reduction Act is a tax increase on the middle class." So let's verify. Does the Inflation Reduction Act raise taxes on the middle class? Our sources, the full text of the bill, the Tax Foundation, a bipartisan think tank, and Howard Gleckman, a senior fellow at the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center. The bill raises taxes on corporations in a couple big ways, but it does not raise taxes on individuals. Nowhere in the text does it mention income tax or any other kind of tax assessed on people, just companies. The Tax Foundation analyzed the proposal and found only two ways it could affect an individual's taxes. One is by actually offering some tax credits on stuff like health insurance and electric vehicles. The other is extending a Trump-era law that caps how much in losses certain business owners can write off on their taxes. That law was going to expire in 2027. This bill keeps it alive until 2029. And that's it. No other tax provisions affecting middle-class people or any other individuals. Now, critics of the bill say the larger corporate taxes could eventually be passed on to employees or shareholders who could be middle class in the form of lower wages and stock dividends. But tax expert Howard Gleckman says even if that happens, it's disingenuous to call it a tax hike, saying, quote, "If you're working for your company has to pay more in taxes. It doesn't mean that you're paying more taxes." So we can verify, no, the Inflation Reduction Act does not raise taxes on the middle class.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Okay, so we are learning new details of an FBI report over an incident that led to Brad Pitt and Angelina's divorce. This was back in 2016. So Angelina allegedly filed a suit against the FBI. This is what's recent. This was in April, asking why charges were never filed in the initial report from 2016. She reportedly told officials that while on a private jet, Brad, who had been drinking, grabbed her by the head and shook her by the shoulders as they argued over one of their children. Now, the FBI report also said Brad poured beer on her while she was sleeping. The report stated Brad punched the ceiling of their private jet 4 times and told Angelina that she was, quote, bleeping up this family. Now, back in 2016, it was believed that Brad had an altercation with his oldest son, Maddox, during the flight, who was 15 at the time. Okay, so obviously this got leaked, right?
Yeah, because she did it under Jane Doe.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have to say, they already looked into this in 2016, the or Child Protective Services, CPS, at the plane. It was like done. She keeps bringing this up. If she feels she hasn't been given enough for that, I get it. But it's been years, and the children are grown up, and I don't know why, I feel bad saying this, it continually gets dragged up. They are going their own separate ways. It just let it go at some point if all the investigations have already done it. It seems like it's bringing up trauma.
What if she was physically assaulted, though? I'm not saying she was.
Right.
But if someone's physically assaulted and they don't feel that the police did their job and they never sought justice,
right?
Why couldn't she bring it up to figure out why he was never charged if she felt like she was physically abused?
Totally, but then do it in I guess why do it now?
But then you're going to tell victims who wait 6 years to come forward that they're not allowed to come forward?
But she came forward in 2016.
That's what I don't get.
No, of course. I appreciate that.
And, you know, Sam, I appreciate you playing devil's advocate because this is a weird situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, something bad happened and probably something that is criminal to some extent. Does anybody here think we're going to do a story soon about Brad Pitt being walked into jail in handcuffs? No, we don't think that's going to happen. Really, the only thing that's going to happen is more bad press. And this is about the kids growing up and their development. But also, I think a lot of our viewers, and definitely I can speak to myself and people I grew up around, they spent most of their life, a big chunk of their adult years, not being able to get over an incident. You know, Jeff said something rude at Thanksgiving 7 years ago. It's like, but you're keeping that on you.
Yeah, the anger's
you
in
have
there,
to let it go. And I understand that it's hard sometimes, but for just Angelina's sake, I think she should. I think a lot of people should, whatever happened 5, 6, 7 years ago, let it go, because probably you're the only one thinking about it.
Yeah, I think you guys said amazing things. I just want to point out, because I was confused about it, why the FBI was involved.
That was my first thought.
So apparently, if you're up in the air on a plane, it's federal, right? Yep. So the FBI. So that was my first question, the whole thing. But I think you guys said amazing points.
Yeah, but I agree with you. It feels weird to say that, because if he poured beer on her and she doesn't feel justice,
or pulled her hair,
right,
and maybe she just wanted to see those details. She didn't mean for it to leak. Maybe she needed to see the details in order for her to move on.
Yeah,
we
that's
don't know
true.
everything. Honestly, I don't even want to delve into someone else's business like that. It's too much. Okay, so new statues honoring 2 characters from the TV show Breaking Bad are angering some people in New Mexico. Actors Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul were on hand when the statues of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman were unveiled in Albuquerque. That's where Breaking Bad was filmed and based. But a conservative radio host and state representative are both upset that a show about meth dealers is being honored. They say the statues send the wrong message about who should be glorified in the community, especially since a statue of New Mexico's first Spanish governor, who was a controversial colonist, was removed in 2020. What do you think, Al?
We're going to not glorify people that use illegal means to gain financial wealth and success. I don't know. That would really cut into our movies.
Yeah,
The
Sopranos.
Yeah, the idea that we're going to sit here and say that these meth dealers are bad. What do I think we should have statues of meth dealers? Absolutely not.
Fictional.
Do I think? I was going to stop and say, should we have statues of actors that have not done civil rights thing? No. But in terms of our society and what our society rewards, can we be honest about what we care about now? Like the reason that we went and got who's the good-looking actor to play James Belfort in Wolf of Wall Street?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
The reason we got our best-looking actor to play a guy that went and called old people and ripped them off and took their savings is because that's what we care about. Do you have a yacht or not? So I don't want to hear like you're offended. We're not. You're not offended. Look at our former president. How many times have you been sued? 5,000? And no one cares. So let's not act like we care about these statues. You don't care. You care about the means. The ends justify the means, and if the ends means a gun or a pen, you're going to get your means. So let's be honest about who we are as people.
Yeah, I think it's a political ploy. I was at Reel's Channel in 2007.
Stop bragging.
And they moved us to Albuquerque, right? Next to the Breaking Bad set. And we're like, what's Breaking Bad? That sounds like it sucks. Turns out it did very well. Yeah. We didn't. But what I'm saying is Breaking Bad took advantage of Albuquerque's tax for cinema. They have an entire program to bring bring you there, like Atlanta for Tyler Perry. They literally, as you said in the break, Sam, put Albuquerque on the map. That show in particular has getting millions for people to come to the set, for tourism. They're fictional. We have Rocky, like you said, on the Philly library steps, the art store steps.
The Philly art store.
But just to kind of be devil's advocate here, you lived in Albuquerque?
No, they asked me to come, and I was there for 2 weeks.
And then they asked her to leave.
Yeah, no, I left.
The
No, I
show
left myself.
didn't get off the ground.
The show is still there in Albuquerque.
Kidding. My point is it's a big meth problem in Albuquerque.
Yes.
If you did live there for 2 weeks, you've noticed it, right?
Yes.
It's a huge problem. So to promote this and put up a statue glorifying it in that particular town,
Let me ask you something.
No.
Do you think, what if it was opioids?
What do you mean?
Like, instead of the drug being meth, what if they were selling opioids? Because opioids is a more pervasive problem in this country. Do you think they would have made a statue of them if they were selling opioids?
You mean like a Pfizer statue?
Like if it was Jesse Pinkman and Bryan Cranston, but they were selling, would they still have that exact same statue if,
I don't know.
the drug was different?
You're getting really complex. I really don't care. But my point is that we had this woke culture, right, swing through like a storm the last 2 years. This is the repercussions of that woke culture. I get what people were trying to do during that. It got too far. The pendulum went all the way. And now some right-wing people are trying to gain some traction by saying, hey, what you did 2 years ago, it's getting a little petty. That's my honest opinion.
I think it's getting, not only is it getting petty, but we're missing the biggest part about it. So first, number one, you cannot compare apples and oranges. A colonizer who's real and then a fictional character who put that town on the map. And the reason why they did it, why they erected these statues, is because they were getting so much tourism, but there wasn't enough places for people. People are literally coming to Albuquerque that are diehard Breaking Bad fans, and they're taking photographs near the set. But that set is pretty much breaking down except for a couple of relics.
It's just a sound stage.
Why didn't they leave it?
Well, that's why they have these statues. So they're trying to, now the town is trying to drive tourism, which means more economy. To Jeff's point, maybe you take some of that money that you're going to be earning from the economy, from all these diehard fans, and you put it towards combating your meth epidemic. Maybe both sides could win here, but yeah, let's not compare a colonizer to a fictional character.
Make believe. It's very
Thank
strange.
you. Okay, so we got to talk about Joe Jonas because he's trying to erase the stigma of men going under the knife or needle. The singer is starring in a new ad campaign for Zeomin, an injectable that smooths fine lines. Joe told People magazine that he doesn't think men should shy away from cosmetic procedures and should be more honest about it. Joe, who just turned 33, by the way, is married to Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner and is a dad of 2. So we talk about double standards on the show all the time, and it's usually the flip side. Do you feel like that men cannot talk about getting work done?
I don't think that at all. Me and Al's had it done for the show. Every time we open the show, my eyebrows are crazy. Which, by the way, we have a photo shoot tomorrow, and we're going to fix that. So that's going to be gone. So say goodbye to the crazy eyebrows. Yeah, right. But of course you talk about it. Well, I don't know why it's a stigma.
Most men would not.
Why
you
not?
And Al are different.
Yeah, well, and also we can at least have the excuse, because I don't think if I wasn't on TV that I would have done that. But I do think I have a lot of friends of mine that, like, sometimes I'll watch TV and I'll be like, that guy should probably use some makeup. Like, my friend for his wedding, you should probably throw some makeup on her. If you're going out, you should probably, it's like, you look better.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like doing comedy in LA, and I would forget to take my makeup off and like go to the bar back when I was drinking. And people be like, you look great. Yeah, and I'd be like, I should do this all the time.
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you clearly look better. So I think men should get on that train. But also, I don't know if Joe Jonas should get all the props for like pushing this conversation forward. You're being paid for this.
A lot.
So,
Agree. But I will say CoverGirl, for instance, has had male cover girls now. I mean, cover people, and they're in makeup
How
too.
dare you?
No, I know. I'm so sorry. But I mean, the makeup industry is forgetting 50% of their clients that might be interested in nail polish, in concealer, and all of these things, in skin regimens. So I think this is normalizing it. The name is terrible.
What is it?
Zeomin?
Zeman?
Zeman?
Z-Men.
What?
Z-Men.
Guys,
don't say that fast.
You got to workshop that name.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Couple.
I will say though too, like, listen, I think if you're going to get work done though, I think it's important to disclose it. I appreciate that I get Botox.
I get Botox too.
That you guys
Why women don't have to disclose it? Now we're in a whole new
should disclose
conversation.
it so when people look at you, especially young people, there's not this unrealistic expectation like the Kardashians that I'm just naturally like this. No, honey. honey. Like, you're not thin from skinny tea or whatever you
Oh, you're saying everyone should disclose it, not men.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
In Denmark, you can't post if it's altered in an advertisement without saying this has been filtered. Don't fall asleep. That's so valid
That's
here.
so valid.
Thank you,
Thank
Sam.
you for that,
That was a
Tori.
good Denmark point.
Coming up on DBL, you guys are so rude. So rude. From smelling.
We haven't brought that up in a while.
Smelling paper towels to eating dog food. Someone's got to do it. We're talking about odd jobs we didn't know existed. Next.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
Did you hear
I
mine?
heard yours as a mask.
Yeah, I heard it's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I don't. And you know who thinks that? We probably can't talk about it. Someone does do that. We just talked about it.
Like, I mean, we could.
No, we shouldn't. Okay, let's talk about what you guys are talking about. Oh, we have a question for you. If you didn't watch the earlier show, this is Destiny, and she's getting married. Her whole family's there. Say hi, family. Will you show them? An idea for a processional song for her wedding to walk down the aisle to. And she wants a little country twang, but something with good lyrics. She's a writer, so the lyrics need to be important. We also want to look for a voice that's evocative. So something like Chris Stapleton is their first dance. So something with a good tone to the voice. Am I right? The lyrics need to mean something to you. And we don't want too fast. We want her to just, So we need that, and also for the bridesmaids. So if y'all could crowdsource this, because it's like tomorrow, we need to get on.
2 days.
We have 2 days. If y'all could write me in on YouTube, that would be very helpful. Thank you from Destiny and her pretend planner. I was in bridal.
Oh, that's off a little bit.
I was in bridal. For like 2 years.
Did you find my wedding dress?
Yes, I did. Pronovius. If you're out there on Poshmark, which is a reuse, so it's good. Let us know what you guys think about Kenny Rogers. Oh, someone else is talking about. He admitted Botox.
Oh, now Kenny Rogers' daughter. Kenny Rogers'
So wait,
daughter.
great story starts.
Oh no, I always get Kenny Rogers and Kenny Loggins mixed up. Never mind.
Wow, highway to the.
Yeah, Kenny Loggins' daughter went to school with my sister, not Kenny Rogers' daughter.
Hey, Troy, tell your Denmark story again.
That was a long
Denmark, in the
you
Danish.
guys know Kenny Rogers? Yeah. There's another singer. My sister knows who.
I love this segment. Here we go. There are many different jobs out there, but you actually might not know about some of the unusual jobs people have pursued, and let's talk about them, okay? First up, golf ball diver. Golf balls can be bad for underwater ecosystems, so there are people who retrieve golf balls from water in or around golf courses, $200 a day.
I feel like get a golden retriever to do it.
That's a great idea.
Right.
What, to put on scuba gear?
No, they jump in the water and get the ball out. They're in flippers.
No, there's thousands down there.
In their mouth that it's filthy like that.
Yeah, and it goes way down. I don't think they get all the way down.
Fun job.
Right?
For like a day.
Yeah, the first time.
Okay.
It's every time I drive by like a construction site, I'm like, that'd be so fun to dig holes for like a week.
Yeah.
There's a place near Vegas where you can go and just dig holes. Yeah.
I'm in.
I mean, you could do that anywhere. So. Great
No,
news
you
about
get
the
to
Earth.
have an excavator. You can't just have an excavator anywhere.
God,
okay,
Al.
there are professional face feelers, also known as sensory scientists.
Also known as creeps.
No. They use their hands to feel product testers' skin before and after they have used products like lotions, razors.
Yeah.
They make good money, around 65 G's a year. Okay.
No.
That's good.
All you need
You
is
have to see if
fingers.
it's too slimy, if it's too sticky. You got to make sure. You need the texture to be right so your product is good.
She's right.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
okay. Who decides whether your fingers are accurately describing
people.
what the?
These people.
They have a profession with experience. Okay. People who are particular about what their pets eat can become pet food tasters.
What?
Now, here's the deal. They assess the product's packaging, the smell, nutrition, and yes, the texture and taste. They make about 34 grand a year.
34 grand.
You better throw a 2 in front of that. No, that's Tori, could you? Aren't they eating out of dog bowls? Can't they at least put them on people?
Agreed. I have to eat like I will say some dog food is human grade, so I hope it's that. But man, I would need more money.
I know. Can you imagine like the salmon one?
Oh my gosh. The liver?
I know. Okay, so this one is really peculiar to me. This is, you have to have a really good nose. Paper towel manufacturers hire paper towel sniffers to check if the product smells right or not. Yeah.
You know,
52 grand a year to be a paper towel sniffer.
Is that like a full time? Are they coming out with new paper towels all the time, or is it like once a year?
That's a meme for Friday night.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, that's really good.
Okay. If you ever think, hey, I can do that while watching physical competition shows like American Ninja Warrior, a stunt tester may be the job for you. They prepare and test out all challenges to make sure they are safe. This person makes $800 a day.
I think this is the most legit one out of all of them. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get in shape, you're like, hey man, we got this thing coming up. If you want to run around, we'll give you $800. Yeah, that sounds good.
And
Like on the
I think there's a lot of people that, I actually knew a guy that would be really good for that, because I know everybody doesn't do it professionally, but there are people that are just like good at wall climbing and things like that, and you can make money. Yeah.
Sorry, one more. Okay, we got.
She didn't care about your story.
No. Sorry, I'm being told one more, and this is a good one. I get it. Water slide testers. They make sure slides are safe and fun. They ride the slide several times to check things like how long it takes to get down, the splash at the end, and how much adrenaline they felt.
But the problem is if it goes wrong, you're going to fall and hurt your tush.
Or just like if there's not enough water at the bottom.
Right.
Like, I don't like water slides anyway. They hurt. They're not fun.
I
They're
got stuck.
traumatizing. It's like being in the washing
Water
machine.
slides are amazing.
Did you
I got
read
stuck.
a paragraph to describe a water slide?
I know, yeah.
Water slide tester, period.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
Okay, we'll be right back.
I like water parks.
A warning for people who use tampons has gone viral.
Because one of the ingredients on the back of her container is titanium dioxide, which, if you don't know, causes cancer.
This TikTok video and several others on social media have claimed titanium dioxide, a whitening agent, is harmful for people who use tampons.
There's been an uproar lately about tampons.
Bobby Parrish, a social media influencer, said titanium dioxide is really bad for reproductive health and claims it can cause excessive bleeding. But there's no evidence that that's true. Using these sources, I'll explain what the titanium dioxide is used for in tampons and why health experts say it's not harmful to humans. Titanium dioxide is a white substance used to enhance the color and sheen of certain foods and everyday household products, including the thread attached to some brands of tampon, like Tampax. There are very few studies on the effects of titanium dioxide on humans. There are, however, several studies done on rats that showed prolonged exposure to titanium dioxide through inhalation caused some rats to develop cancerous tumors in their lungs. But gynecologist Jen Gunter says people who use tampons that contain titanium dioxide don't have anything to worry about. She says humans aren't exposed to the titanium dioxide in tampons the same way as the rats studied, adding that titanium dioxide doesn't dissolve in water, meaning that the nanoparticles aren't going to dissolve from the tampon string and then get absorbed by the body. While the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified titanium dioxide as possibly carcinogenic to humans, the American Chemistry Council says that determination was based on animal studies. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists told Verify there is no evidence that suggests that any tampons are safer than any other tampons, so we do not recommend any over the others. So we can verify, no, there's no evidence that titanium dioxide in tampons is harmful to humans. With your Verify, I'm Adiante Till.
It's Wednesday, but we've still got your shopping needs covered. Check out these deals where there's something for everyone.
Steph, what do you have for us today? I'm looking forward to it.
Hi, DBL Nation. Hey, Tori. I am so excited to show you these deals today. And trust me, they are out of this world. Let's get started. It is the Tac Life Ultrasonic Jewelry Cleaner.
Yes, girl.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. It includes in the deal 1 jewelry cleaner. And with this, you can bring the shine back to your jewelry by deep cleaning those inside hard to reach places like little holes, narrow crevices, and settings. And get this, it doesn't have to just be for jewelry. You can clean your glasses,
I didn't know
collectible coins, and so much more. It's so easy to use. So normally this is $70.
Ooh.
I know, but right now we've got it for $25, and this is a saving up to 64%.
You're not just cleaning your jewelry, you're cleaning up the savings.
Now, Tori, you know that I'm all about fashion, and I am in love with these bags.
Cute.
I know, they are the Jella Vu Bermuda or Brady handbag.
Wow.
So the deal includes 1 handbag. So you can choose whether you get the Bermuda, which is available in 3 colors, denim, floral, and olive, or the Brady, which is available in 2 colors, denim or olive. So with this, you are taking summer fashion into your own hands. The Bermuda style is vintage inspired, and it can be worn with or without the crossbody strap and handles. Or if you guys go for the Brady style, this bag gives the style an elegant twist, literally with this chunky braided strap.
Cute.
So Morning Save have bought the remaining inventory of these, so you will not be finding them anywhere else. So make sure you get your hands on one while you can, because they're going to sell out really quickly.
I can tell.
So normally these bags are $118, but we are selling them for $29. It's saving everyone 75%, and I've got to say, this is a really great color going from autumn into winter and fall. Like, this is perfect. Now, I know this is going to be a fan favorite. We've got the AI Cook 1800 watt 11-speed blender with 32-ounce Triton pitcher.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 1 blender, 1 pitcher, 1 lid with a measuring cup, and a 1 food pusher.
Oh, wow.
So you guys can cool down this summer with an icy treat, whether it's a smoothie or a margarita. Hey, I'm not here to judge. And this is tough enough to grind nuts, coffee, smoothies, dips, and sauces. Now, it's got 11 different speeds and a pulse option. So this has basically all 5-star reviews.
Wow.
It's a great product, you guys.
Wow.
So normally it's $110, but we've got it for just $49, Tori.
We love that.
So that saves everyone 55%.
That's unbelievable. That is fantastic. And I'm making smoothies out the gazoo, putting spinach in, and I need a food
good
pusher.
for you.
Yeah, I'm truly trying, so this would be perfect.
Absolutely. And for our last product today, we've got the Conair LED Light Therapy Pain Relief System.
Oh, wow.
I know. So this deal includes 1 LED pain relief system, which will provide you effective LED light therapy for reduced muscle pain. So this is the first time that Morning Save have ever featured this on television. It's so easy to use, and you can take it with you anywhere. So normally this is $138, but we've got it, Tori, for $59.
That's good.
So it's saving everyone up to 57%.
That's good. If you have any athlete, or if you have someone who's working out in your life, this is a great gift. Head on over to morningsave.com, snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even just scan the QR code on screen right now with your phone. It takes you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
When you look at that decline in price from $5.02 down to $3.99, so from the peak down to where it is now, over $1 per gallon in savings, again, our work isn't done.
White House economic advisors are cautiously optimistic about the steady decrease in prices at the pump. In a tweet last week, the White House saying, quote, with over $1 drop in just 58 days, this is the fastest decline in gas prices in over a decade. So let's verify, is the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months the biggest in 10 years? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy and the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or the EIA. Data from the EIA and Gas Buddy shows gas prices have been falling for 9 straight weeks, really since the start of summer. DeHaan says it's important to look at how high prices were back then, $5 a gallon the week of June 11th.
Well, in terms of the rate of decline, I mean, obviously that's a feat that's a little bit easier to accomplish when prices had gone up so much, to now see the market unwinding some of those gains.
He says over the course of the summer, gas prices fell about 2 to 3 cents each day.
That sounds pretty mundane, but that's actually one of the more significant decreases that we've seen, because it's an average of 150,000 stations declining several cents a day. We usually don't see much upside beyond that.
The sharpest and most sustained decline in U.S. prices for gas was back in 2008. Prices
in midsummer 2008 were $4.10 a gallon. They ended the year under $2 a gallon. So really, nothing is going to compare really to the recession.
So we can verify, yes, the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months is the biggest in 10 years.
On August 8th, the FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The Washington Post reported agents were searching for classified documents related to nuclear weapons, among other things. In response, Trump issued a now deleted statement that former President Barack Obama kept 33 million pages of documents, much of them classified. So let's verify. Did former President Barack Obama keep 33 million pages of his administration's records? Our sources are the National Archives and Records Administration and the Presidential Records Act. For nearly 2 centuries, presidential records were considered the president's private property. This changed in the wake of the Watergate scandal, and in 1978, the Presidential Records Act was passed, requiring presidents to turn over nearly all of their paper records to the National Archives when they leave office. In most cases, presidents will then work with the National Archives to display some of their records in a presidential library, but the records remain the property of the archives. The National Archives responded to Trump's claims about Obama, saying that they are in possession of all 30 million pages of records that Obama turned over. So, no, former President Barack Obama did not keep 33 million pages of his administration's records. The Obama Foundation is working to digitize items and make them available online, although the foundation says the process was delayed during the pandemic. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back.
All right, we do have a correction, and this is from Karen. It's real serious. It was not Denmark that has the law that requires social media.
Of course.
It is Norway. Norway.
But Tori owned Denmark.
I did own
What's
Denmark.
happening over here?
I need a lot of things because I'm very important.
She is. DBL is new every day.
Important people bring some nice outside.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
Am I going crazy? I just love your passion right now.
I'll take it.
Oh, yeah. Actually, let me get on it. You just got me all riled up. Who raised you?
This is a win, right, guys? Why am I right all the time?
You're not.
I live my life for Spike. Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustache.
I didn't expect that. I love this segment.
Yes.
You just made my day, my week, my month, my year. DBL is all new every day.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Liz Cheney loses in the primaries, but isn't giving up her fight to defeat Donald Trump. Does she stand a chance in the 2024 election? A shocking back-to-school ad of a child wearing body armor goes viral. Is this too much, or is this just a sign of the times? The remarkable story of a woman who spent days stranded in the desert after a serious fall. She joins us live to tell us how she made it out alive. And a couple of Breaking Bad statues are causing a political uproar. Is this nod to the show really glorifying meth makers?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Well, everyone, all of our viewers are talking about Liz Cheney this morning. She lost last night in the Wyoming Republican primary to her challenger, Harriet Hageman. Liz only got 29% of the vote, while Harriet got 66% of it. But Liz's political career might not be over. Take a look at what she said this morning on the Today Show.
I believe that Donald Trump continues to pose a very grave threat and risk to our republic. And I think that defeating him is going to require a broad and united front of Republicans, Democrats, and independents. And that's what I intend to be part of.
Are you thinking about running for president?
I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
Well, obviously, Liz has been very vocal in her opposition to former President Trump, and now it seems Republican voters in Wyoming have decided that's not what they want, which brings up a very interesting question. Can Republicans who oppose Trump still win with voters? DBL Nation, always want to hear from you. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Tori, I know you have a very strong point of view about this.
Yeah, I just wanted to say for everyone out there, I know Wyoming might not have thought that, but Liz Cheney represents an entire group of people that is on the same fact level as the Democrats right now. So 2 + 2 for Liz Cheney is 4, and that's the same for us. The rest think the election was stolen, and that's in a different reality. She is leading the way with patriotism to go against her own party, which was going to disown her. She knew it was going to be tough to lead the January 6th committee, and unfortunately, she didn't make it into being a congresswoman. She will be running. She will 1,000% in 2024. She will represent the Republican Party, the old conservatives that have the fiscal idea that don't want Trump to take over their party.
Yeah, she will
She's
be,
the
she will be running for a couple weeks before she loses stunningly before we even get started. She was just humiliated in this election.
Wyoming has very few people. You can't really register on that.
She won by like a crazy amount of points last time. I believe she got 73 or 75%.
Do you think that you have to be backed by Trump if you're a
Republican? There's no discussion anymore, Sam. Yes, absolutely. I don't know. I never thought we'd see this day where we just saw the Republican Party, like the Cheneys, they're gone. They don't exist anymore.
Dynasties, you mean?
Yes, theoretically. So I think this is Trump's party now. We should start talking about it like this. Tori, you're talking about 2 + 2 in our reality. No, their reality is our reality because we live in the same world that they do.
So you're just going to give up?
I was not a Republican to begin with.
No, but I mean about getting on a side where two political parties can have actual debates about real things.
Oh, that's over. Yeah.
Listen, I kind of disagree. And I don't know, and maybe just because it's early on in the voting and people are still sporadically voting, I think when it comes to 2024, people are going to come out in record numbers, right? But I think people, at least me, and I don't have a political party, right? I'm very much independent. I feel like people want to get away from the circus, right? They want to start talking about issues. They don't want to talk about Trump every day. What did Trump do here? What did Trump? Let's talk about what's happening. If my kids are in elementary school, right? If someone is pushing more money for elementary schools in Colorado or for the United States, that's something I want to hear. That's something I'm going to vote for. You shouldn't be shamed for you vote. You shouldn't be tied to President Trump for this, or you shouldn't be like, hey, I'm going to stand up for my nation and vote Joe Biden. Look at the issues at hand. Vote for what you want. And even if you vote independent or you vote for a guy that's not on the ticket, you're not throwing away your vote. You went to the box. You voted for who you thought would best fit yours. You don't need to be part of this team that votes red or blue. Vote what is best for you.
I think the issue with that, and I appreciate what you're saying. I agree with a lot of it. Is that for a lot of people, they are just single issue voters. You want to talk about schools? I have kids in school. Sam has a kid recently in school. Give me a knuckle bump on that. I love you for that. Love. So that's what we care about. But there's some people that care about AR-15s. We can't not talk about Trump because people are showing up at the FBI shooting nail guns at them in full body.
We're never going to not talk about Trump.
Right.
Okay. So if anyone's nervous out there, we will never. Yeah. Don't worry.
Even Laura Ingraham recently said, "I think it's time to turn the page."
I think it is, and I think a lot of people, even though
we're for that,
we see it and. Okay, we can move on.
No, please finish.
No, that's no one cares anyway.
Yes, I do.
No, it's
yes,
good.
I
It's
do.
good. I made my point.
Let's see what our viewers actually say. 59% of you say yes. Republicans who oppose Trump still win with voters. Interesting. Okay, so speaking of elections, the NBA will not be playing any games on Election Day this year.
Cavs.
Which is November 8th. It's to encourage more people to go vote in the midterms. It's not the first time the league has gotten vocal about elections. In 2020, some players wore shirts encouraging people to go out and vote. So what do you guys all think of this move? And should Election Day, we've talked about this before, Jeff, should it be a holiday?
For sure. It's not up to the NBA. It's not up to a lot of people look to the NBA, the NFL, sporting, to see what they do, right? And I like the leadership, but it's not their job. Their job is to entertain us with what they love, right? If they want to step outside that box and do whatever and get political, I'm all for it, right? We need leadership. Our leaders aren't leading, so we need to look to these outlets. It's not the NBA's job to say, hey, we're not going to play any games here because you guys should vote. As Americans, we should have that day off. Is everyone going to use it to go vote? Probably not, but we should have that opportunity to not find it difficult to get to a box and vote.
First of all, I fully agree with you. Google how many countries have the day off. It's like crazy that we don't have it. It's absurd that we don't have it. But
There's a reason why.
Why?
Because there's certain people in power that don't want certain people to come out and vote.
Oh, I agree with you completely.
Voter suppression, yes.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. But what I applaud is the NBA saying, fine, we're not going to wait. We'll do it. In 2020, they used the stadiums to be voting polls.
Yeah.
That's how you agree. That's how you have leadership, like LeBron James making a school where good lunches are paid for, because they're not doing it. The politicians ain't going to do it. They're going to do it.
And
so look to the athletes.
I think that we're learning that the only time that you can really communicate to Americans is when they're watching their entertainment, watching their sports. So maybe if somebody, a diehard NBA fan, turns on the TV and is like, where are all the games? Oh, today's the midterms, and then they'll go out and vote. Like sometimes that's what you need because you're not going to see the flyers and the banners. So
a lot of people don't turn out to the midterms, but it's starting to change.
I agree with you.
It is. Coming up on DBL, we are learning more about the fight that led to Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce, the new FBI report that details the incident. But first, a chilling new ad wants people to get real about gun violence in schools. But do you think it went too far?
Closed captioning provided by...
Am I going crazy?
So
raised you?
Why am I right all the time?
Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustache.
You just made my day, my week, my month, my year.
The other guy
Hey, guys.
that ran the White House in like his like in a detonated car or whatever.
That was
inappropriate.
Really weird.
Why, we were always giving a hug? Oh, was that weird? It was weird. I'm so
Just
sorry.
grabbed his hand and put it
I was just gonna give a hug.
across your bosom.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that.
Yeah, he got.
with an E. They say bosom.
If you say bosom, it's less offensive.
You sound like your romance novel.
But then it takes the
Your
water.
bosom, your
I turned
heaving
the
bosom.
heat down on the water.
You did. Laura Ingraham just said on her show that she wants to turn the page, and I wondered if Tucker Carlson and all of them are going to follow. She seems to be ready to turn the page because I think she feels.
He's such a ratings getter.
But here's what I don't think Tucker Carlson, or even CNN for that fact, go to either side of that. Talk for both. It gets them ratings. That's the bottom line for these shows. It gets them ratings. So talking about Trump gets them ratings on both sides, CNN and Fox. But I think middle America, meaning me, I'm only speaking for me, is just, they're tired of the circus. Let's get some new blood in there. I don't think 80-year-old should be our president.
Taylor doesn't either.
So it's like, let's get some new blood in there. Let's get some new ideas in there.
I
Let's
agree. Age
out
limit.
with the old, in with the new.
Supreme Court, they're 100 years old. I went to go see the Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas slept the entire time.
Not that they don't have good ideas or they didn't serve our country well. It's just like, let's get some new things going on.
You don't do this with
Even
any
Biden.
other
We're talking
thing
about
that's
even
alive. Any
Biden.
cars, you don't say, well, that was a good model in 80s.
Right,
we're gonna stick
right.
with it. Like, no, things evolve, things get better. And I can't wait until I'm out the pasture and can watch the next generation coming up, which I can already see. Like, I'll go to comedy clubs.
We're almost there, buddy.
I'll be like, how old are
It's that
they?
old yeller in the yard. You're still here.
I want to be out the pasture. It's great out there.
Al, we need you here.
Welcome back. Earlier this week, we shared a story about this Oklahoma mom who bought her 5-year-old son a bulletproof insert for his Spider-Man backpack. She also did active shooter training drills with him. But I want you to check out this new back-to-school ad that's running in Texas. Take a look.
Politicians say they make our land safe and free. They're supposed to stand for you and me. Keep our children safe for you and me. Keep our children safe for you and me.
Wow. All right. So what do you think of this ad? And have you considered buying your child or grandchild a bulletproof backpack or an insert for your backpack? Do you think this, first I should just say this is a political ad. This is Moms Against Governor Abbott because they do not believe his gun reform or lack of gun reform is strict enough to keep children safe in schools. But did that move you at all?
No, and it kind of irritated me in some sort of way. You know what I mean? The banjo-y thing is very propagandized in my eyes, just because it is such a serious issue, and I still haven't figured out how I'm going to approach it with my children who are currently in school right now as we speak. Am I going to have this talk with them to frighten them of someone coming in? This is a very serious issue, and that the twanging music in the background maybe just didn't do it for me, and maybe the message was fine. I missed the point, and it was just jamming it down the other party's throat. And I don't like that. We need to solve this as Americans, not political parties.
Do you think about sending your children to school in bulletproof backpacks
I wouldn't. I mean, yes, physical injuries are something to worry about, but mental, especially childhood PTSD. I felt like that child in the corner with his backpack over his face that's bulletproof. I mean, that you think that's not doing damage as well? You think that's not going to carry on into his adult years and into anxiety?
This was more impactful to me than the actual ad, just this.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. This, and honestly, like, I was driving the other day and just thinking about Uvalde. Like, I'm not past that. And I don't think a lot of Americans are. I think about it when I see your kids. I think about it when I see kids graduate. I think about those parents. I think about, the interview you had with the young man that lost his life here in Colorado.
Castillo.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know if that's the effective, but it's already in my heart. I don't need to see some kind of, like you said, propagandized ad. But I
just want to encourage parents. Like yesterday, we had our back to school. Sophie's first day of school is today. So I have a lot of emotions when it comes to seeing that kid in armor. Like, that ad really struck me. It did, because that's the reality today. But I did ask yesterday in our big back to school teacher parent conference, no kids were allowed, and I was really nervous to ask about that because they glossed over lockdowns. But I wanted to know, like you, Jeff, specifically, what do we do as kindergarten parents? What do we tell our kids? I know it's all about age appropriateness, and they have psychologists help weigh in on what to say. So I did ask, and I was like shaking because it feels so political. And I said, listen, I hate that I have to ask this, but in our climate, what are you really doing in these lockdowns? They told me, and I'm sure it's very similar in your school because it's all recommended by the districts, but they put the kids in the corner, they give them suckers so they're quiet, and they all huddle together and they be quiet. They don't say bullets, guns, active shooter like we saw in that viral video. Right. They do not say that. Age appropriateness, it'll traumatize the children.
Absolutely.
You just say, we're keeping you safe. Someone's in the building, we got to keep you quiet and keep you safe. At home, you say even less. You just listen and you let them guide the conversation. Now, when they get older, 3rd grade, 4th grade, it's going to be different age appropriateness action, but just follow the teacher's guide. That, according to that TikTok video, that's not what you're supposed to do. I'm not shaming that mother by any means. That kid may be the most prepared kid. God forbid there's a school shooting in his school. But the psychologists say differently. We'll be right back.
A warning for people who use tampons has gone viral.
Because one of the ingredients on the back of her container is titanium dioxide, which, if you don't know, causes cancer.
This TikTok video and several others on social media have claimed titanium dioxide, a whitening agent, is harmful for people who use tampons.
There's been an uproar lately about tampons.
Bobby Parrish, a social media influencer, said titanium dioxide is really bad for reproductive health and claims it can cause excessive bleeding. But there's no evidence that that's true. Using these sources, I'll explain what the titanium dioxide is used for in tampons and why health experts say it's not harmful to humans. Titanium dioxide is a white substance used to enhance the color and sheen of certain foods and everyday household products, including the thread attached to some brands of tampon, like Tampax. There are very few studies on the effects of titanium dioxide on humans. There are, however, several studies done on rats that showed prolonged exposure to titanium dioxide through inhalation caused some rats to develop cancerous tumors in their lungs. But gynecologist Jen Gunter says people who use tampons that contain titanium dioxide don't have anything to worry about. She says humans aren't exposed to the titanium dioxide in tampons the same way as the rats studied, adding that titanium dioxide doesn't dissolve in water, meaning that the nanoparticles aren't going to dissolve from the tampon string and then get absorbed by the body. While the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified titanium dioxide as possibly carcinogenic to humans, the American Chemistry Council says that determination was based on animal studies. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists told Verify there is no evidence that suggests that any tampons are safer than any other tampons, so we do not recommend any over the others. So we can verify, no, there's no evidence that titanium dioxide in tampons is harmful to humans. With your Verify, I'm Ariante Till.
So it was a hike that should have been her last. In 2018, Claire Nelson went for a solo hike in California's Joshua Tree National Park. She spent the next 4 days lying on the desert floor, not sure if she would live or die. Before we speak with her, here is a look at her story.
Within minutes of this photo, Claire Nelson loses her footing and plummets 14 feet.
This is not where I expected to end up. The shattered pelvis. I might die here, and I'm really scared that that's the case, and I don't know what to do. I can't get a signal out here.
She is more than a mile off the intended path, leaving her screams for help unanswered.
I call for help, and no one's out here. This is the stupidest thing I've ever done.
The heat becomes Claire's greatest enemy.
This heat is trying to get to me.
Unable to move, she uses her walking stick to apply sunscreen and give herself shade.
My makeshift umbrella. This is basically me for the next 6 hours, now that the sun's coming over me. And legs covered.
By day 4, Claire understands her fate and issues a final message for her family.
I don't want to be here. There's still hope, if I just feeling a little bit freaked out.
Wow, Claire has now written a book about her remarkable experience called Things I've Learned from Falling. Please welcome to the show, Claire Nelson. Claire, before we get into it, I'm just in awe of your wherewithal to stay present. When you were watching that, what was going through your mind?
To watch it, I feel so detached from it. You know, it's like I'm watching myself, and I just want to help. I just want to help her. I can just remember all of the fear that I was feeling in that moment.
I have to ask you this. I'm so amazed by your amazing perseverance, but you didn't cry, on video at least, until day 3. Did you hold it together because you kind of didn't want to go there? You didn't want to think I'm there and tears mean that? Or what changed you to cause you to have some tears?
I mean, I'm not much of a crier anyway. You know, I tend to keep all my emotions really below the surface, but I think once the shock of the realization that I'm in a situation I might not survive had hit me, I went into survival mode, which for me was definitely you push all the emotions aside and focus on the pragmatic and the practical.
Right.
What can I do right now to get me out of here? And then by day 3, the hope had gone, and then that's when all the emotions came to the surface.
So you only had a gallon of water with you. When did you run out, and what did you do once it was gone?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I planned to go for a day, so I had half a day really. I had half a day's worth of water, and it ran out within 24 hours of me falling and having the accident. And I had been collecting my urine in my empty bottle. I hadn't thought I'd be out there that long, but I was just collecting it to try and stay clean and not smell for attracting animals. And so when I ran out of water, it was just like, well, I have this liquid here. Didn't hesitate. I know it can't sustain you for a long period of time, but in the interim, it saved me.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. That was my first thing. I was like, don't go there. So I'm glad you went there, because how else do you survive? It's a survival tactic. Yes.
So
yeah.
It worked.
Because of it. Yeah.
Desperate times.
Desperate times, absolutely. Well, let's talk about these desperate times, because you experienced extreme heat, pain, thirst, hunger, but was one worse than the others? Like, talk to us.
Even hallucinations she experienced.
Absolutely, yeah.
Whoa, I mean, the funny thing is, I didn't even have any hunger. I mean, the thirst was so prolific that hunger just kind of shut down. So it was the heat and the pain and the thirst. I don't know if any were worse, but it's hard to remember now the pain, and it's hard to remember the heat. But the thirst never leave me. How I felt that dehydration, you feel it in every bit of your body. You feel it in your eyeballs. You feel it in your organs. Like it's to this day, I never want to feel that thirst ever again in my life.
I can't even imagine. You were saved because your friends alerted search and rescue after you failed to post anything on social media for a couple of days. When you heard the helicopter, what was your first thought, and how did you get its attention?
I mean, the first thought was, I thought that my mind was playing tricks on me. I was in a very weak state at that point. Thought I was imagining it. And then I heard them make an announcement, and I realized this thing is real. First thing I thought was they might be looking for me, which would be great. I didn't assume that was the case, but that was the point. I just kind of sprung into action, and all I could do was wave my sunshade as fast as I could. But they weren't looking for me where I was, because unbeknownst to me, come off a mile off the trail. They were looking over where they thought I was hiking, and so they came and went twice, and I just thought that was it. That was my last thread of rescue gone.
I'm just in awe.
She just waved that. They found it from waving.
You're so courageous. I can't wait to read this book, DBL Nation. Read more about Claire's amazing, unthinkable experience by picking up her book, The Things I Learned from Falling. The book also has hiking survival tips. Oh, wow. Claire, we appreciate you. We're so glad that you're here today to tell your story. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Claire.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
When you look at that decline in price from $5.02 down to $3.99, so from the peak down to where it is now, over $1 per gallon in savings, again, our work isn't done.
White House economic advisors are cautiously optimistic about the steady decrease in prices at the pump. In a tweet last week, the White House saying, quote, with over $1 drop in just 58 days, this is the fastest decline in gas prices in over a decade. So let's verify, is the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months the biggest in 10 years? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy and the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or the EIA. Data from the EIA and Gas Buddy shows gas prices have been falling for 9 straight weeks, really since the start of summer. DeHaan says it's important to look at how high prices were back then, $5 a gallon the week of June 11th.
Well, in terms of the rate of decline, I mean, obviously that's a feat that's a little bit easier to accomplish when prices had gone up so much, to now see the market unwinding some of those gains.
He says over the course of the summer, gas prices fell about 2 to 3 cents each day.
That sounds pretty mundane, but that's actually one of the more significant decreases that we've seen, because it's an average of 150,000 stations declining several cents a day. We usually don't see much upside beyond that.
The sharpest and most sustained decline in U.S. prices for gas was back in 2008.
Prices in midsummer 2008 were $4.10 a gallon. They ended the year under $2 a gallon. So really, nothing is going to compare really to the recession.
So we can verify, yes, the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months is the biggest in 10 years.
On August 8th, the FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The Washington Post reported agents were searching for classified documents related to nuclear weapons, among other things. In response, Trump issued a now deleted statement that former President Barack Obama kept 33 million pages of documents, much of them classified. So, let's verify. Did former President Barack Obama keep 33 million pages of his administration's records? Our sources are the National Archives and Records Administration and the Presidential Records Act. For nearly 2 centuries, presidential records were considered the president's private property. This changed in the wake of the Watergate scandal, and in 1978, the Presidential Records Act was passed, requiring presidents to turn over nearly all of their paper records to the National Archives when they leave office. In most cases, presidents will then work with the National Archives to display some of their records in a presidential library, but the records remain the property of the archives. The National Archives responded to Trump's claims about Obama, saying that they are in possession of all 30 million pages of records that Obama turned over. So, no, former President Barack Obama did not keep 33 million pages of his administration's records. The Obama Foundation is working to digitize items and make them available online, although the foundation says the process was delayed during the pandemic. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Hey y'all, this is Jordan Foster. I'm over at ABC 24, Memphis, Tennessee. Listen, we watch the DBL just about every day because, listen, they come on after us and they always brighten up the rest of the day. We get it started and they finish the job. If you're not watching DBL, then you got to get hip.
Oh my gosh, I need his energy.
Yes.
Please come on set. Thank you for the love. Memphis, that's from our affiliate station, and he needs to come join us. He called us hip. I know, I feel really good now. Okay, before we go to break, check out this painfully cute viral video. After completing the Ironman race, this man got down on one knee to propose to his girlfriend, but a cramp set him down to the floor. Luckily, some people held him up long enough for him to pop the question. There it is.
Maybe just do it at a different time. You know, let it go, guy. Let it go.
And you can't act surprised after he's been on the floor face down with.
And what are you going to say? No?
I just think that. I think that's great. I think that's great. But I think after he pulled his Charlie horse, I think that's you got to redo that at dinner.
Look at all the emotion. I thought it was beautiful. Wonderful. If you're leaving us, you can watch the second half of the show online. Watch on YouTube, dailyblastlive.com, or our app. But if you get the second half of the show where you are, here is what's ahead. An FBI report exposes new details in Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce, the incident that led to the split. And new Breaking Bad statues are stirring up controversy in New Mexico. Is it a double standard to glorify fictional characters over historical leaders?
Many Republicans have criticized the bill, like this state representative who in a popular tweet said, quote, "The Inflation Reduction Act is a tax increase on the middle class." So let's verify. Does the Inflation Reduction Act raise taxes on the middle class? Our sources, the full text of the bill, the Tax Foundation, a bipartisan think tank, and Howard Gleckman, a senior fellow at the Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center. The bill raises taxes on corporations in a couple big ways, but it does not raise taxes on individuals. Nowhere in the text does it mention income tax or any other kind of tax assessed on people, just companies. The Tax Foundation analyzed the proposal and found only 2 ways it could affect an individual's taxes. One is by actually offering some tax credits on stuff like health insurance and electric vehicles. The other is extending a Trump-era law that caps how much in losses certain business owners can write off on their taxes. That law was going to expire in 2027. This bill keeps it alive until 2029. And that's it. No other tax provisions affecting middle-class people or any other individuals. Now, critics of the bill say the larger corporate taxes could eventually be passed on to employees or shareholders who could be middle class in the form of lower wages and stock dividends. But tax expert Howard Gleckman says even if that happens, it's disingenuous to call it a tax hike, saying, quote, if you're working for your company has to pay more in taxes. It doesn't mean that you're paying more taxes. So we can verify, no, the Inflation Reduction Act does not raise taxes on the middle class.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Y'all,
Just stop. Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Okay, so we are learning new details of an FBI report over an incident that led to Brad Pitt and Angelina's divorce. This was back in 2016. So Angelina allegedly filed a suit against the FBI. This is what's recent. This was in April, asking why charges were never filed in the initial report from 2016. She reportedly told officials that while on a private jet, Brad, who had been drinking, grabbed her by the head and shook her by the shoulders as they argued over one of their children. Now, the FBI report also said Brad poured beer on her while she was sleeping. The report stated Brad punched the ceiling of their private jet 4 times and told Angelina that she was, quote, bleeping up this family. Now, back in 2016, it was believed that Brad had an altercation with his oldest son, Maddox, during the flight, who was 15 at the time. Okay, so obviously this got leaked, right?
Yeah, because she did it under Jane Doe.
Yes.
Yeah, I just have to say, they already looked into this in 2016. The or Child Protective Services, CPS, at the plane. It was like done. She keeps bringing this up. If she feels she hasn't been given enough for that, I get it. But it's been years, and the children are grown up, and I don't know why, I feel bad saying this, it continually gets dragged up. They are going their own separate ways. It just let it go at some point if all the investigations have already done it. It seems like it's bringing up trauma.
What if she was physically assaulted, though? I'm not saying she was.
Right.
But if someone's physically assaulted and they don't feel that the police did their job and they never sought justice,
right?
Why couldn't she bring it up to figure out why he was never charged if she felt like she was physically abused?
Totally, but then do it in I guess why do it now?
But then you're going to tell victims who wait 6 years to come forward that they're not allowed to come forward?
But she came forward in 2016.
That's what I don't get.
No, of course. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And, Sam, I appreciate you playing devil's advocate because this is a weird situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, something bad happened and probably something that is criminal to some extent. Does anybody here think we're going to do a story soon about Brad Pitt being walked into jail in handcuffs? No, we don't think that's going to happen. Really, the only thing that's going to happen is more bad press. And this is about the kids growing up and their development. But also, I think a lot of our viewers, and definitely I can speak to myself and people I grew up around, they spent most of their life, a big chunk of their adult years, not being able to get over an incident. You know, Jeff said something rude at Thanksgiving 7 years ago. It's like, but you're keeping that on you.
Yeah, the anger's
you
in
have
there,
to let it go. And I understand that it's hard sometimes, but for just Angelina's sake, I think she should. I think a lot of people should, whatever happened 5, 6, 7 years ago, let it go, because probably you're the only one thinking about it.
Yeah, I think you guys said amazing things. I just want to point out, because I was confused about it, why the FBI was involved.
That was my first thought.
So apparently, if you're up in the air on a plane, it's federal, right? Yep. So the FBI. So that was my first question, the whole thing. But I think you guys said amazing points.
Yeah, but I agree with you. It feels weird to say that, because if he poured beer on her and she doesn't feel justice,
or pulled her hair, right, and maybe she just wanted to see those details. She didn't mean for it to leak. Maybe she needed to see the details in order for her to move on.
Yeah,
we don't know everything. Honestly, our thought. I don't even want to delve into someone else's business like that. It's too much. Okay, so new statues honoring 2 characters from the TV show Breaking Bad are angering some people in New Mexico. Actors Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul were on hand when the statues of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman were unveiled in Albuquerque. That's where Breaking Bad was filmed and based. But a conservative radio host and state representative are both upset that a show about meth dealers is being honored. They say the statues send the wrong message about who should be glorified in the community, especially since a statue of New Mexico's first Spanish governor, who was a controversial colonist, was removed in 2020. What do you think, Al?
We're going to not glorify people that use illegal means to gain financial wealth and success. I don't know. That would really cut into our movies.
Yeah,
wouldn't
The
it, guys?
Sopranos.
Yeah, you know, the idea that we're going to sit here and, you know, say that these meth dealers are bad. What do I think we should have statues of meth dealers? Absolutely not.
Fictional.
Do I think? I was going to stop and say,
I
should we
said
have
they're not
statues
real.
of actors that have not done civil rights? No, but in terms of our society and what our society rewards, can we be honest about what we care about now? Like the reason that we went and got who's the good-looking actor to play James Belfort in Wolf of Wall Street?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
The reason we got our best-looking actor to play a guy that went and called old people and ripped them off and took their savings is because that's what we care about. Do you have a yacht or not? So I don't want to hear like you're offended. We're not. You're not offended. Look at our former president. How many times have you been sued? 5,000? And no one cares. So let's not act like we care about these statues. You don't care. You care about the means. The ends justify the means, and if the ends means a gun or a pen, you're going to get your means. So let's be honest about who we are as people.
Yeah, I think it's a political ploy. I was at Reels Channel in 2007.
Stop bragging.
And they moved us to Albuquerque, right? Next to the Breaking Bad set. And we're like, what's Breaking Bad? That sounds like it sucks. Turns out it did very well. Yeah. We didn't. But what I'm saying is Breaking Bad took advantage of Albuquerque's tax for cinema. They have an entire program to bring you there, like Atlanta for Tyler Perry. They literally, as you said in the break, Sam, put Albuquerque on the map. That show in particular has gotten millions for people to come to the set, for tourism. They're fictional. We have Rocky, like you said, on the Philly library steps, the art store steps.
The Philly art store.
But just to kind of be devil's advocate here, you lived in Albuquerque?
No, they asked me to come, and I was there for 2 weeks.
And then they asked her to leave.
Yeah, no, I left.
The show
I left myself.
didn't get off the ground.
The show is still there
I'm
in
just kidding.
Albuquerque.
But my point is it's a big meth problem in Albuquerque.
Yes.
If you did live there for 2 weeks, you've noticed it, right?
Yes.
It's a huge problem. So to promote this and put up a statue glorifying it in that particular town,
Let me ask you something.
No,
do you think,
go for
what if it was opioids?
What do you mean?
Like instead of the drug being meth, what if they were selling opioids? Because opioids is a more pervasive problem in this country. Do you think they would have made a statue of them if they were selling opioids?
You mean like a Pfizer statue?
Like if it was Jesse Pinkman and Bryan Cranston, but they were selling, would they still have that exact same statue if
I don't know.
the drug was different?
You're getting really complex. Yeah. I really don't care. But my point is that we had this woke culture, right, swing through like a storm the last 2 years. This is the repercussions of that woke culture. I get what people were trying to do during that. It got too far. The pendulum went all the way. And now some right-wing people are trying to gain some traction by saying, hey, what you did 2 years ago, it's getting a little petty. That's my honest opinion.
I think it's getting, not only is it getting petty, but we're missing the biggest part about it. So first, number one, you cannot compare apples and oranges. A colonizer who's real and then a fictional character who put that town on the map. And the reason why they did it, why they erected these statues, is because they were getting so much tourism, but there wasn't enough places for people. People are literally coming to Albuquerque that are diehard Breaking Bad fans, and they're taking photographs near the set. But that set is pretty much breaking down except for a couple of relics.
It's just a sound
Why didn't they
stage.
leave it?
Well, that's why they have these statues. So they're trying to, now the town is trying to drive tourism, which means more economy. To Jeff's point, maybe you take some of that money that you're going to be earning from the economy, from all these diehard fans, and you put it towards combating your meth epidemic. Maybe both sides could win here, but yeah, let's not compare a colonizer to a fictional character.
Make believe. It's very strange.
Thank you. Okay, so we got to talk about Joe Jonas because he's trying to erase the stigma of men going under the knife or needle. The singer is starring in a new ad campaign for Zeomin, an injectable that smooths fine lines. Joe told People magazine that he doesn't think men should shy away from cosmetic procedures and should be more honest about it. Joe, who just turned 33, by the way, is married to Game of Thrones star Sophie Turner and is a dad of 2. So we talk about double standards on the show all the time, and it's usually the flip side. Do you feel like that men cannot talk about getting work done?
I don't think that at all. Me and Al's had it done for the show. Every time we open the show, my eyebrows are crazy. Which, by the way, we have a photo shoot tomorrow, and we're going to fix that. So that's going to be gone. So say goodbye to the crazy eyebrows. Yeah, right. But of course you talk about it. Well, I don't know why it's a stigma.
Most men would not.
Why
you
not?
And Al are different.
Yeah, well, and also we can at least have the excuse, because I don't think if I wasn't on TV that I would have done that. But I do think I have a lot of friends of mine that, like, sometimes I'll watch TV and I'll be like, that guy should probably use some makeup. Like, my friend for his wedding, you should probably throw some makeup on her. If you're going out, you should probably, it's like, you look better.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like doing comedy in LA, and I would forget to take my makeup off and like go to the bar back when I was drinking. And people be like, "You look great."
Yeah,
and I'd be like, "I should do this all the time."
Yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you clearly look better. So I think men should get on that train. But also, I don't know if Joe Jonas should get all the props for like pushing this conversation.
Right.
Forward, you're being paid for this.
A lot.
So,
Agree. But I will say CoverGirl, for instance, has had male cover girls now. I mean, cover people, and they're in makeup.
How
too.
dare you?
No, I know. I'm so sorry. But I mean, the makeup industry is forgetting 50% of their clients that might be interested in nail polish, in concealer, and all of these things, in skin regimens. So I think this is normalizing it. The name is terrible.
What is it?
Zeman? Zeman?
Damn.
Zeman.
What?
Yeah.
Zeman.
Guys,
Don't say that fast.
you gotta workshop that name.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Couple.
I will say though too, like, listen, I think if you're going to get work done though, I think it's important to disclose it. I appreciate that I get Botox.
I get Botox
appreciate
too.
that you guys
Why women don't have to disclose it? Now we're in a whole new
should disclose
conversation.
it so when people look at you, especially young people, there's not this unrealistic expectation like the Kardashians that I'm just naturally like this. No, honey, like you're not thin from skinny tea or whatever you.
Oh, you're saying everyone should disclose it, not men.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
Honest.
In Denmark, you can't post if it's altered in an advertisement without saying this has been filtered. Don't fall asleep. That's so valid.
That's
here.
so valid.
Thank you,
Thank
Sam.
you for that.
That was a
Tori.
good Denmark point.
Coming up on DBL, you guys are so rude.
So rude.
From smelling.
We haven't brought that up in a while.
From smelling paper towels to eating dog food, someone's got to do it. We're talking about odd jobs we didn't know existed. Next.
Closed captioning provided by
DBL is all new every day.
Did you hear
I
mine?
heard yours as a mask.
Yeah, I heard it's supposed to.
And I don't. And you know who thinks that? We probably can't talk about it. Someone does do that. We just talked about it.
Like, I mean, we could.
No, we shouldn't. Okay, let's talk about what you guys are talking about. Oh, we have a question for you. If you didn't watch the earlier show, this is Destiny, and she's getting married. Her whole family's there. Say hi, family. Will you show them? An idea for a processional song for her wedding to walk down the aisle to. And she wants a little country twang, but something with good lyrics. She's a writer, so the lyrics need to be important. We also want to look for a voice that's evocative. So something like Chris Stapleton is their first dance. So something with a good tone to the voice. Am I right? The lyrics need to mean something to you. And we don't want too fast. We want her to just, So we need that, and also for the bridesmaids. So if y'all could crowdsource this, because it's like tomorrow, we need to get on. We have 2 days. If y'all could write me in on YouTube, that would be very helpful. Thank you from Destiny and her pretend planner. I was in bridal.
Oh, that's off a little bit.
I was in bridal for like 2 years.
Did you find my wedding dress?
Yes, I did. For Novius. If you're out there on Poshmark, which is a reuse, so it's good. Let us know what you guys think about Kenny Rogers. Oh, someone else is talking about. He admitted Botox.
Oh, now Kenny Rogers' daughter. Kenny Rogers'
So
daughter.
great story starts.
Oh no, I always get Kenny Rogers and Kenny Loggins mixed up. Never mind.
Wow, highway to the.
Yeah, Kenny Loggins' daughter went to school with my sister, not Kenny Rogers' daughter.
Hey, Tori, tell your Denmark story again.
That was a long
Denmark? In the
you guys know
Danish.
Kenny Rogers? Yeah. There's another singer. My sister knows you.
I love this segment. Here we go. There are many different jobs out there, but you actually might not know about some of the unusual jobs people have pursued, and let's talk about them, okay? First up, golf ball diver. Golf balls can be bad for underwater ecosystems, so there are people who retrieve golf balls from water in or around golf courses, $200 a day.
I feel like get a golden retriever to do it.
That's a great idea.
Right.
What, to put on scuba gear?
No, they jump in the water and get the ball. out. They're in slippers.
No, there's thousands down there
in their mouth that it's filthy like that.
Yeah, and it goes way down. I don't think they get all the way down.
Fun job,
right?
For like a day.
Yeah, the first time.
Okay.
It's every time I drive by like a construction
Wednesday.
site, I'm like, that'd be so fun to dig holes for like a week.
Yeah.
There's a place near Vegas where you can go and just dig holes. Yeah.
I'm in.
I mean, you could do that anywhere. So. Great
No,
news
you
about
get
the
to
earth.
have an excavator. You can't just have an excavator anywhere.
God,
okay,
Al.
there are professional face feelers, also known as sensory scientists.
Also known as creeps.
No. They use their hands to feel product testers' skin before and after they have used products like lotions, razors.
Yeah.
They make good money, around 65 G's a year. Okay.
No.
That's good.
All you need
You
is
have to see if
fingers.
it's too slimy, if it's too sticky. You got to make sure. You need the texture to be right so your product is good.
She's right.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Okay. Who decides whether your fingers are accurately describing
people.
what this?
These people.
They have a profession with experience.
Experience.
Okay. People who are particular about what their pets eat can become pet food tasters.
What?
Now here's the deal. They assess the product's packaging, the smell, nutrition, and yes, the texture and taste. They make about 34 grand a year.
34 grand.
You better throw a 2 in front of that. No, Tori, could you, aren't they eating out of dog bowls? Can't they at least put them on people?
Agreed. I have to eat like I will say some dog food is human grade, so I hope it's that. But man, I would need more money.
I know. Can you imagine like the salmon one?
Oh my gosh. The liver?
I know. Okay, so this one is really peculiar to me. This is, you have to have a really good nose. Paper towel manufacturers hire paper towel sniffers to check if the product smells right or not. Yeah. 52 grand a year to be a paper towel sniffer.
Is that like a full time? Are they coming out with new paper towels all the time, or is it like once a year?
That's a meme for Friday night.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, that's really good.
Okay. If you ever think, hey, I can do that while watching physical competition shows like American Ninja Warrior, a stunt tester may be the job for you. They prepare and test out all challenges to make sure they are safe. This person makes $800 a day.
I think this is the most legit one out of all of them. You know what I mean? If you're trying to get in shape, you're like, hey man, we got this thing coming up. If you want to run around, we'll give you $800. Yeah, that sounds good.
And
Like on the
I think there's
challenge.
a lot of people that could. I actually knew a guy that would be really good for that because I know everybody doesn't do it professionally, but there are people that are just like good at wall climbing and things like that, and you can make money. Yeah.
Sorry, one more. Okay, we got.
She didn't care about your story.
No.
I'm being told one more, and this is a good one. I
Sam's
get it.
sniffing
Water slide testers. They make sure slides are safe and fun.
No.
They ride the slide several times to check things like how long it takes to get down, the splash at the end, and how much adrenaline they felt.
But the problem is if it goes wrong, you're going to fall and hurt your tush.
Or just like if there's not enough water at the bottom.
Right.
Like I don't like water slides anyway. They hurt. They're not
hurt.
fun.
I
They're
got stuck.
traumatizing. It's like
Are
being
you
in
kidding
the
me?
washing
Water slides
machine.
are amazing.
Did you
I got
need
stuck.
a paragraph to describe a water slide?
I know, yeah.
Water slide tester, period.
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
We'll be right back.
I like water parks.
A warning for people who use tampons has gone viral.
Because one of the ingredients on the back of her container is titanium dioxide, which if you don't know, causes cancer.
This TikTok video and several others on social media have claimed titanium dioxide, a whitening agent, is harmful for people who use tampons.
There's been an uproar lately about tampons.
Bobby Parrish, a social media influencer, said titanium dioxide is really bad for reproductive health and claims it can cause excessive bleeding. But there's no evidence that that's true. Using these sources, I'll explain what the titanium dioxide is used for in tampons and why health experts say it's not harmful to humans. Titanium dioxide is a white substance used to enhance the color and sheen of certain foods and everyday household products, including the thread attached to some brands of tampon, like Tampax. There are very few studies on the effects of titanium dioxide on humans. There are, however, several studies done on rats that showed prolonged exposure to titanium dioxide through inhalation caused some rats to develop cancerous tumors in their lungs. But gynecologist Jen Gunter says people who use tampons that contain titanium dioxide don't have anything to worry about. She says humans aren't exposed to the titanium dioxide in tampons the same way as the rats studied. adding that titanium dioxide doesn't dissolve in water, meaning that the nanoparticles aren't going to dissolve from the tampon string and then get absorbed by the body. While the International Agency for Research on Cancer classified titanium dioxide as possibly carcinogenic to humans, the American Chemistry Council says that determination was based on animal studies. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists told Verify there is no evidence that suggests that any tampons are safer than any other tampons, so we do not recommend any over the others. So we can verify, no, there's no evidence that titanium dioxide in tampons is harmful to humans. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
It's Wednesday, but we've still got your shopping needs covered. Check out these deals where there's something for everyone. Steph, what do you have for us today? I'm looking forward to it.
Hi, DBL Nation. Hey, Tori. I am so excited to show you these deals today. And trust me, they are out of this world. Let's get started. It is the Tac Life Ultrasonic Jewelry Cleaner.
Yes, girl.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. It includes in the deal one jewelry cleaner. And with this, you can bring the shine back to your jewelry by deep cleaning those inside hard to reach places like little holes, narrow crevices, and settings. And get this, it doesn't have to just be for jewelry. You can clean your glasses,
I didn't know
collectible coins, and so much more. It's so easy to use. So normally this is $70.
Ooh.
I know, but right now we've got it for $25, and this is a saving up to 64%.
You're not just cleaning your jewelry, you're cleaning up the savings.
Now, Tori, you know that I'm all about fashion, and I am in love with these bags.
Cute.
They are, I know, they are the Jello Bermuda or Brady handbag.
Wow.
So the deal includes one handbag. So you can choose whether you get the Bermuda, which is available in 3 colors, denim, floral, and olive, or the Brady, which is available in 2 colors, denim or olive. So with this, you are taking summer fashion into your own hands. The Bermuda style is vintage inspired, and it can be worn with or without the crossbody strap and handles. Or if you guys go for the Brady style, this bag gives the style an elegant twist, literally with this chunky braided strap.
Cute.
So Morning Save have bought the remaining inventory of these, so you will not be finding them anywhere else. So make sure you get your hands on one while you can, because they're going to sell out really quickly.
I can tell.
So normally these bags are $118, but we are selling them for $29. It's saving everyone 75%, and I've got to say, this is a really great color going from autumn into winter and fall. Like, this is perfect. Now, I know this is going to be a fan favorite. We've got the AI Cook 1800 watt 11-speed blender with 32-ounce Triton pitcher.
Whoa.
So this deal includes one blender, one pitcher, one lid with a measuring cup, and a 1 food pusher.
Oh, wow.
So you guys can cool down this summer with an icy treat, whether it's a smoothie or a margarita. Hey, I'm not here to judge. And this is tough enough to grind nuts, coffee, smoothies, dips, and sauces. Now, it's got 11 different speeds and a pulse option. So this has basically all 5-star reviews.
Wow.
It's a great product, you guys.
Wow.
So normally it's $110, but we've got it for just $49, Tori.
We love that.
So that saves everyone 55%.
That's unbelievable. That is fantastic. And I'm making smoothies out the gazoo, putting spinach in, and I need a food
good
pusher.
for you.
Yeah, I'm truly trying, so this would be perfect.
Absolutely. And for our last product today, we've got the Conair LED Light Therapy Pain Relief System.
Oh, wow.
I know. So this deal includes one LED pain relief system, which will provide you effective LED light therapy for reduced muscle pain. So this is the first time that Morning Save have ever featured this on television. It's so easy to use, and you can take it with you anywhere. So normally this is $138, but we've got it, Tori, for $59.
That's good.
So it's saving everyone up to 57%.
That's good. If you have any athlete, or if you have someone who's working out in your life, this is a great gift. Head on over to morningsave.com, snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even just scan the QR code on screen right now with your phone. It takes you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
When you look at that decline in price from $5.02 down to $3.99, so from the peak down to where it is now, over $1 per gallon in savings, Again, our work isn't done.
White House economic advisors are cautiously optimistic about the steady decrease in prices at the pump. In a tweet last week, the White House saying, quote, with over a $1 drop in just 58 days, this is the fastest decline in gas prices in over a decade. So let's verify, is the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months the biggest in 10 years? Our sources, Patrick DeHaan with Gas Buddy and the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or the EIA. Data from the EIA and Gas Buddy shows gas prices have been falling for 9 straight weeks, really since the start of summer. DeHaan says it's important to look at how high prices were back then, $5 a gallon the week of June 11th.
Well, in terms of the rate of decline, I mean, obviously that's a feat that's a little bit easier to accomplish when prices had gone up so much, to now see the market unwinding some of those gains.
He says over the course of the summer, gas prices fell about 2 to 3 cents each day.
That sounds pretty mundane, but that's actually one of the more significant decreases that we've seen, because it's an average of 150,000 stations declining several cents a day. We usually don't see much upside beyond that.
The sharpest and most sustained decline in U.S. prices for gas was back in 2008. Prices
in midsummer 2008 were $4.10 a gallon. They ended the year under $2 a gallon. So really, nothing is going to compare really to the recession.
So we can verify, yes, the drop in the national average gas price over the last 2.5 months is the biggest in 10 years.
On August 8th, the FBI searched former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. The Washington Post reported agents were searching for classified documents related to nuclear weapons, among other things. In response, Trump issued a now deleted statement that former President Barack Obama kept 33 million pages of documents, much of them classified. So let's verify. Did former President Barack Obama keep 33 million pages of his administration's records? Our sources are the National Archives and Records Administration and the Presidential Records Act. For nearly 2 centuries, presidential records were considered the president's private property. This changed in the wake of the Watergate scandal, and in 1978, the Presidential Records Act was passed, requiring presidents to turn over nearly all of their paper records to the National Archives when they leave office. In most cases, presidents will then work with the National Archives to display some of their records in a presidential library, but the records remain the property of the archives. The National Archives responded to Trump's claims about Obama, saying that they are in possession of all 30 million pages of records that Obama turned over. So, no, former President Barack Obama did not keep 33 million pages of his administration's records. The Obama Foundation is working to digitize items and make them available online, although the foundation says the process was delayed during the pandemic. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back.
All right, we do have a correction, and this is from Karen. It's real serious. It was not Denmark that has the law that requires social media.
Of course.
It is Norway. Norway.
But Tori owned Denmark.
I did own
What's
Denmark.
happening over here?
I need a lot of things because I'm very important.
She is. DBL is new every day.
Important people bring sometimes outside.
Where hope finds help. Where courage meets conviction. Where makers make fans. We are Tegna, a family of local and national media brands that bring us together, serving the greater good of our communities. Where national know-how backs local business. Be in good company with Tegna.
Am I going crazy?
I just love your passion right now.
I'll take it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, let me get on it. You just got me all riled up.
So
Who raised you?
This is a win, right, guys? Why am I right all the time?
You're not.
I live my life for Spike. Welcome to another week of Jeff's Mustache.
I didn't expect that. I love this segment.
Yes.
You just made my day, my week, my month, my year. DBL is all new every day.